Good evening, chat. Good evening. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? How's everyone's Friday? It is a Friday, right? Yes. How's everyone's Friday been? I had to make sure because today has felt very much like a Saturday to me, so I had to I had to make sure that I was on the right day. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone is doing well. Let me just make sure things here are doing what they're supposed to. Spartan, yeah, we're in full detective mode. I found this after last time's stream. I found I could actually do this. Unfortunately, there was no detective hat. I did look. Good evening, Clicks. How are you doing? How is your... Well, I suppose for you, Friday has only just really gotten started. Well, I say just. It should be heading towards noon, I guess. I hope you're doing well. Who is this? Do you not recognize the world-famous detective? Finally hit puberty? Yeah, you can hear it too sometimes. Is this the right channel? You've come to exactly the right place, my friend. To witness some of the greatest detective work in the world. Fuck, let's pretend I didn't mess that sentence up. A mustachio question. You know what? I'll let that one go. If you actually have a question to ask, you can actually ask it today. I'll let that pun go. No clue, let's go look for the right... There is only one great detective on this platform, and you are looking at him. With the greatest mustache that a man could possibly ask for. There's actually a pink one as well, although I didn't put on the pink one. I think there's a rainbow one too. I don't know, it's like a couple of... Where's Spartannell? Spartannell is in front of you. He has simply matured. He has simply come to understand some of the world's greatest mysteries and become enlightened. I need to get better at my improv. I need to seriously work on my improv and ability to respond to things. You want to show us his goods in a back alley? You, no. I would not go into a back alley for that. I have standards about where I show anything off. I'm scared. Don't be scared, guys. I put on a single mustache. That, for fuck's sake, it's not that intimidating. At least it really shouldn't be. Let's have a look here. Wrong thing. You. Oh, I could put on a blanket. That's. If I really wanted to. I don't want to, but I could. Yeah, there is a rainbow mustache. We'll stick with a plain black one today because we are using the little grey cells, as Monsieur Poirot put it. Look like the Pringle man. Cowboy hat. Ooh, wait, do I have a cowboy hat one? You guys giving me ideas here. Let me check. Let's see. What do I have for hat? No, I only have a Christmas hat, unfortunately. Oh, I'll do it. Yeah, I don't. I would have to add in a cowboy hat myself, unfortunately. Also, good evening, Sloan. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. What does this one look like? Ooh. It's kind of cute. It doesn't fit me very well, but it is cute. No, that must just go. Let's see. No, I'm scared. No, now I've started to have fun with this. Now you're gonna have to deal. Ooh, wait. I could give myself exactly one cat here. Fortunately, it doesn't track very well. No, we're going to do the moustache, but we're not going to do the Pringle Man one, because apparently that's the first thing that people thought of. Alright, let's just get this to the right size. Yeah, it's good enough. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Unfortunately, I should really play around more with the whole... I should play around more with what assets I can add, because clearly you guys love it. Clearly you guys think this is the best thing ever. Now you see, if I really wanted to look shifty, I guess this would do it. Not me. Keep me the same size. Now this would look shifty. It's just... This one actually... It's Markiplier. Hey, let's go. Suddenly feel like a hostage. A fluffy marshmallow on your lip. Well, listen, you already insulted the black one, so now we're just gonna stick with the pink. I will take away the porn star glasses though, because those... Those do look a little bit too much. Let's see, what else is there? Ooh, lots of Christmassy things. I must remember that for... Ooh, this year I can sing you guys my Christmas song. I can make everything very Christmassy themed, and I can sing you my Christmas song that I made last year and I released, and whichever one of you should hopefully have gone and listened to numerous times. That's how I feel sometimes with the clown nose, not gonna lie. Okay. Let's do this one. I never listen. That's how you sound most of the time. Oh, fuck off. I sound classy and elegant. Although I do actually want to work more on my my communication skills. I want to work more on that, because I don't think I always communicate the most efficiently or effectively. So I do want to get better at that. I do. But I sure as fuck don't sound like a clown. I don't even know what a stereotypical clown would sound like. I'll be honest, I don't think I've actually met any clowns in real life. Like proper paid clowns, like that's their whole gig. That's the whole thing that they do. I don't think I've ever met one. There are many things I would like to say, but my mother is in chat, and so... Well, I'm right here. No, but you're an angel, Clicks. Clicks, you're just wholesome. And sometimes you're able to pull out the real troll, the real troll stuff. And Although none of you have gotten me with the D's nuts joke, and I do appreciate that. I'm not about to invite you guys to try though. I'm in no mood to start dodging D's nuts jokes. Or Ligma ball jokes, or whatever else you've got. Is about to say something. Well, you know what? On that note, let's just... Instead of us trading insults... Let's do this. Let's try solve a murder. How about that? Let's do that instead. How does game audio sound? It looks a little bit soft, but I know... Okay, there. If anything, it's a little bit loud, I think. Sorry, this is an old game. I have to literally Alt-Tab out every time I want to change something. There you go. Okay, so... And try to find your dignity while you look for them. My dignity is right where I left it. I never lost it in the first place. So, last time, for those of you who did not join, who weren't here for the last time, oh yeah, have we looted this place entirely? Anyway.
Nothing to see.
Nothing to see. Last time, we started playing this game. And essentially, how do I summarize the plot of Murder on the Orient Express? So we are not playing as Monsieur Poirot, as this madame keeps referring to it.
It's locked far.
We are playing as Miss... She has a passport. Antoinette Margaret Marceau. And we are on a train. We are escorting Monsieur Poirot. We are in the 30s. And we... there was a murder last night. There was an avalanche in the Alps. The train had to come to a stop. And Monsieur Poirot got injured because he fell off of the bunk, because he didn't sleep on the floor like the Swedish lady wanted him to. And, yeah, he now has a twisted ankle. But then overnight... Where's the dead guy? Ah, Monsieur Ratchet. This guy... he was offed. He was murdered. No one's covering the bot. Huh. Okay, we'll deal with him now.
There's nothing I can...
He's not in great shape. He was murdered multiple times. Technically, normally you're only murdered once. He was stabbed numerous times, and he is very much dead now. And we have been tasked with solving this murder. In the meantime, however, apparently there was a broken pipe, and now everyone inside of the train is freezing, and we need to find a way to fix it. So, that's more or less you caught up. It's a fun change to see you solve murders instead of caught. Name one time that I have murdered anyone. The only game series we have played a lot of on this channel was... Well, we've done Dorf Romantic and we've done Batman, and Batman doesn't murder. So, who's outside the window? I think it's the American car salesman. We're going to follow him now. Apparently we can. The bot lady was more entertaining than your mustache. Well, we found our way outside the train. Dishonored didn't count. Dishonored that was justified murder. Right, murder is
Matteo,
sometimes justified.
Did you see Mr. Hardman come this way just now?
No, señorita.
Ooh, he's Italian, I think. He looks like he came out of the First War.
Unless we find a way to replace that broken pipe, our chances look very bad.
So, murder is sometimes justified, chat, and Dishonored was justified murder. That's gonna
Every
make a
need
great clip out. That's gonna make a great clip out of context. Streamer
Every
going, the streamer just saying murder is sometimes justified. Okay, I'm not gonna follow that thought because I think it's just going to get me in trouble. Well, we're here now. Let's see what we can find.
There's no power.
Okay, we need a battery. Worth noticing, there's a ham radio in there. Constantine, Matteo. Matteo might have... Matteo is not worried about us going into his room while he sits at the end of the corridor and watches us. We're going to steal his book. Morse code book. Nice. Murder kills people? Sometimes I think it's optional. And we're also gonna steal... Oh, he's from Spain. Not Italy. My bad.
I see nothing.
I hear that murder does have a tendency to actually kill people. Yes. This is an interesting camera
winter,
angle.
but only when I can look out at it from the comfort of a room with a fire crackling in the fireplace.
Oh, wait. What's that? What are those? What are those? Look at it again.
Someone has seen to it that the snowshoes, they are beyond repair, and now quite useless.
Radio should send out... Yeah, I think so, but we need to find a battery for it first. That's the only problem. Constantine. Who is Constantine? Is she blind then? I saw a shoe. Petite. Oh, is Constantine the doctor? We're just
Quite
gonna...
interesting.
I've already...
Quite interesting. We're gonna steal his passport as well. And no one will ever question that they're... Yo, my man looks angry. Hang on. No. This dude was pissed that he had to have a photo taken for a passport. Also, wait, that's interesting. Doctor of, and then something is taped out and then replaced with medicine underneath. What was he a doctor of? That might be important. We might have to remember that.
I won't find any... Nothing to see.
Yep, I don't know, Snack. She just doesn't see shoes. They really, quite interesting.
I'm
What's
sure
this?
I can piece these back together.
Is that a bed or a couch? I think it's one of those, like, things that it can double up. It's about, okay. Uniform. That looks like an exclamation mark, so at bottom. Look underneath. Okay, I'll have a look now. Calais. There we go. Okay, so that can't go there. Something about the Calais coach, presumably. Okay, this has to be... Oh! Okay, those two pieces go together. Nice. Okay, that must go there then. And see the pieces that fit. Got what? Something about got what he deserved. We have a Joker reference a couple of decades early. Or did Joker rip off this game? Food for thought. Okay, we're getting there. Pass key. Okay, so multiple people were in on this. Multiple people were in on this. I'm going to assume that at least as a kid, I was able to solve this part. Got what's coming to him. Hide, it's about time. Someone got what's coming to him. Also, chat, this is why we tear up. That's like why, if you have to get rid of anything, like shred it or burn it. Don't just rip it up into shreds. Although maybe I'm just overly paranoid about it, because I make sure, I make hella sure, if I have to dispose of anything particular in the bin, like that shit's shredded beyond repair so that no one can do what I'm doing right now. Aha. Something, view in Belgrade. Uniform in Belgrade. Oh, so the person had a uniform.
There, it is complete. I will carefully place it into
Eat
my
the evidence.
scrapbook for further study.
Maybe I should in future if I have to get rid of like an affidavit or something. Uniform in Belgrade Station. Washroom? Pass key in the pocket. Lots of rooms in the Athens-Paris coach will be empty. Hide in one of them until... Broad? It's about time the dirty rat got what's coming to him. I'm not sure what the BROD is. Maybe that's somewhere that we've already been? I don't know. Because it's not Belgrade. It won't be... I'd be surprised if it was. Yeah, it doesn't look... The detective doesn't know. I haven't started using the little gray cells. Soon all will be made clear. For now, we simply ransack the rooms. Jacket? I could only check the label on the jacket, which said petite.
The door is locked.
The door is locked. Ah, but is the washroom locked? Okay, the engineer apparently does not have any luggage. We're going to steal his passport, as is... custom.
Nothing to see.
Those boots look like I should be able to take them.
The door is locked.
Oh, they did lock it. Look under the bed. I did try. I didn't see anything. Klaus. The German? Ah, he's the one who we were searching for his bacon.
Klaus's passport. I'll put it with the others.
Remember this lady used to like... At some point she was super hesitant about even like listening in on conversations and eavesdropping, and now she's just digging through people's luggage. Zero problems. She just... Zero shame. 7 and 8 is vacant. Let's see. Nothing in the cupboard, I'm guessing. One day, one of these cupboards is actually going to hold something. Apparently, there's something to see.
Quite interesting. Quite interesting.
Maybe there's fingerprints and I just can't see them yet. Yeah.
Quite interesting.
Oh, possibly more fingerprints then. So it's going to be a proper nightmare for customs. I'd like to think at some point she's going to have to reveal to all of them that she stole all of their passports. And people are going to have serious protests and problems with it. Why do I bother with these? Why are we even allowed to open those? I don't think we've actually found anything in any of those cupboards yet.
I enjoy when...
Okay, yeah, you enjoy winter. And yeah, what are you going to tell them when you get to customs? Sorry, the crazy lady in the blue dress just stole my passport, I swear.
I can't see anything of interest.
I know, those boots look like they might be useful. She really just steals shit. She just steals passports. She just stole this dude's gloves. Imagine just stealing the passports and not being able to solve the crime. She's not actually trying to solve the crime. She's actually just a kleptomaniac. She's actually just an absolute menace to society and is just clearing this train out while she can.
I see nothing.
Nothing remarkable. Well, clearly someone's in this room. Lucien? Who's Lucien? Ooh, I don't know. Nothing to steal in here? It would appear not. Okay. No, I don't want to go in this room. I want to... Mademoiselle, I would like you to go outside. Because apparently we can go outside from here. Or through the window with the corpse. Oh, actually, can we see what this dude was looking at? Because he was just... No, I can't. You know how suspicious this looks? She got off the train and is immediately just walking off into the far distant snow. Ooh, loading. New area.
Snow. It is much too deep to cross without the snowshoes.
Without the snowshoes?
No, the snow.
Okay, so we need to fix up the snowshoes at some point. Gotcha. We can't check and see what Hardman? Was it Hardman? We can't see what he was looking at. We don't need to climb back in through Ratchet's window. Unless all of these doors are open now, I don't know.
The restaurant car. I can...
Oh, wait, I saw
Even after a rescue train arrives,
never mind.
that avalanche...
Oh, wait, is that the broken pipe? I see steam.
This must be where the steam is escaping.
Okay, I see broken pieces of pipe on the floor. Okay, I get it. Go back, thank you. Okay, I guess first thing is gonna be to actually switch off the steam, just cause...
Please, you must help me. My stomach.
Have you been poisoned?
No, I need food. I am wasting away.
Okay.
We've only been trapped here.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with her. We'll need tools, yeah.
You do not understand. Klaus, the chef de cuisine, is a master. His meats, his sauces, but even the tenderest meat must be chewed.
Don't say anything. Oh, I'm so tempted to make comments about his meat and sauces, but...
Yes, that is true.
I am a busy man. I work hard. I have little time for frivolity.
Frivolities?
It is. You will pardon me. I had not brushed my teeth since before the Great War. The dentists in Istanbul are fiends.
The hammer?
This
Yeah.
one, he does not cure me.
But I suspect it's his, so I think we'll need to,
But the new teeth he has made do not fit properly. Adjustments are needed. He sends them to Trieste. But the train will pass through Trieste in only 2 days. I can survive for 2 days on soup. Now we may be stranded here for a week or more. Remember 1929? It has happened. It can happen again.
Monsieur needs...
Meat.
And to chew it?
teeth?
Once I have eaten, I will be in your debt
Oh, no.
forever.
No.
That's anything.
Oh, shit.
Monsieur, today is your lucky day. I have teeth for
We're
you.
giving him the dead man's
I have
teeth?
little to offer you in return. I know nothing of the murder,
We're just...
but thank you so much.
No! just gave... We just gave him... We just gave him the dead guy's teeth. We don't even know if those were clean. We just took them out of our pocket and gave them to him.
Magic. These are much better than mine. Where did you find them?
You may now dine. That is all you need to know.
Thank you. Please, help yourself.
Okay,
I don't need any.
we're picking up coal, apparently. He doesn't need it anymore?
I have desperate need of your hammer.
I would do anything for you, mademoiselle, after the service you have done for me. But I need that hammer to check the boiler pressure. If you can find me an adequate replacement,
Adequate
then it is
replacement?
yours.
Maybe classes of fruitcake. Those been used historically as hammers before, so
Even
it is possible. Okay, that was distasteful. If you'll excuse the pun. That was not pleasant to just... He just gave him a dead person's teeth.
Locked as per.
We didn't even tell him where we got him. He didn't even ask. Well, when he did ask, she's just like, all you need to know is that you can now eat. Oh! Oh, 07, I guess. Thanks for your teeth. That was horrifying. Okay. A lump of coal. Let's just check what we have in our inventory at this point. Because... man was dying. We saved them. Listen, I'm just saying for like myself... even if I was like in terrible shape, okay, like if I was really hungry and someone just fished out a set of spare teeth from their pocket and gave it to me and were like, oh, it's your lucky day, sir. I happen to have teeth for you. I'd have some serious questions. That's all I'm saying. I would have had questions for him. I'm like, oh yeah, where did you get these? No, seriously, why were you just carrying a set of dentures around? Ugh.
I beg your pardon.
I need to get meat for the engineer so I can. Oh, I don't know if that will let me.
This door is tightly locked.
Reminder of my late grandparent. Why? Did you give your late grandparents' teeth to someone else who was in dire need of dentures? Did look at this last time.
Quite interesting.
Ah, these were fingerprints. We needed fingerprints. I'm like 90% sure that 2 pairs of what?
Mademoiselle, observe. The lead. Mademoiselle.
Ah, but if we get the hammer... I'm assuming from the 2 pairs that those are also snowshoes. No, my little cousin stole them once.
This seems to be a
I know at least one of my grandparents had false teeth, but I don't think I ever saw them out of their mouth. They might have been, I don't know. I never really asked. Let's see. Maybe
The door is locked.
she needs the hammer. Yeah. But to get the hammer, I need to give BRB. All good.
It's locked.
To get the hammer, I need to give the engineer something that works as a suitable replacement. So I need something that's really hard and
Nothing else to. I've already. I won't find.
something that he can use to hit
I am
things.
sorry, Fräulein, but I must insist that we...
Excuse me, Frau Schmidt. Yo, Lynn, welcome in. How you doing? I know, this moustache is fantastic. Thank you for being the only person who has not immediately been like, what's with the moustache? Who the hell is this? Why are we stealing Greta's Bible? Other people didn't ask me that. I'm just asking that.
I don't need anything.
How are you doing, my friend? Okay, well, we stole Greta's Bible. I don't... What? These games are kind of funny in that the protagonists just know that they should...
Mademoiselle, of course, our investigation is of the utmost importance. But we cannot investigate under these conditions. We are not the polar bears. If you have the difficulties, Poirot will offer to you what help he can. But remember the challenge I make to you. Every time you receive my help, I am closer to winning.
Okay. Good. Obviously, I don't know. Characters in these games just have like a weird knack of knowing that they must just pick up certain things for whatever unexplainable reason. Like, those will just be useful in future. I don't know. Lot going on, but good stuff. At least it's good stuff. We like to hear
Look
it.
at here. You work.
I can't see.
Okay, we can't steal her shoes.
I've already.
How's ooh, what's that? What's that? That was the wrong button. How's the animation and stuff going? That you were doing something with that, weren't you? Appears to have come from a conductor's uniform. Ah, and remember, she said that there was someone in her room the previous night. And the conductor couldn't find anyone. So it has to have come from their...
It's locked.
From their uniform.
This door.
Alright, keep your secrets. Alright, so we first can work on checking with the... whatchamacallit, with the conductors, see if anyone's missing a uniform.
Nothing else.
I do like that she stands in front of these people in their rooms and then goes, no, I've already searched their suitcase quite thoroughly. There's nothing else of interest in there.
I can't see any.
Start some work on some Boris emotes. Nice, let's go. I know, I saw,
I won't find.
Since when have I started saying my saws, like, with an R? I saw you said that you were going to look at potentially making a Boris or a Boris noted emote, whichever it was.
I can't see any. I see nothing.
Okay. So I don't think we've missed anything in their rooms. Cute nodders. Hey.
Hello.
Your
I'm
emotes are
afraid
always
I'm
so
back
cute, though.
again.
Your emotes are always such a pleasure to see.
Please give me the key to the Athens-Paris coach.
Here is mine. Keep it as long as you like.
Good day, monsieur.
Oh, nice. Okay, we no longer have to go outside to get there. I forgot that we didn't actually have the key. I was just going to ask him about the button. Nothing in the bathrooms.
It is locked.
Right, because she cannot use keys by herself.
You presume that this would be the choice of Poirot?
Huh? It's the key for the Athens-Paris coach. What do you mean?
The key?
Oh, wait. Maybe we have to ask him direct. I keep on pressing the wrong one. Maybe we need to ask this guy directly about the button.
That isn't going to happen.
Never mind. I really thought for a moment. Okay, let's see. Because that one guy, that one fella had the coat sitting in his room. Maybe that's where the missing button comes from.
I can't.
They still can't do anything with the shoes. One day. Let's see. Nothing else I can do here, I don't think. I think this room may be vacant. No. Oh, this is where the fireman stays. We stole his gloves. Let's see. 5 and 6. Vacant. I think this is where we found the... Nothing in any of these. I think this is where we found the torn up shredded notice. Okay. That's for fingerprints, which I still don't think we can do yet. If you guys wanted to lift fingerprints, this is all purely hypothetical. If you guys needed to try and get fingerprints from a crime scene, what would you combine for it? Because I'm thinking we need a powder.
Nothing else to see.
Scotch tape? Yeah, I'm thinking powder and tape.
I see nothing.
I don't know if, like... Because we've got tape. I do remember we have sellotape. But then we need some form of powder. Coal powder. Maybe. I don't think we can break this down. No. The other option is getting like flour or something from the kitchen, from the from the cook, I guess.
Nothing to...
Yeah, still. I'm just making sure that we haven't missed anything that can double up as a hammer for the other guy.
It's locked.
Ah, and then, yeah, the guy next door, his room is locked. Michelle's room is locked. Ashes or makeup
I
could
enjoy
also
winter.
work. I think this is where we got the snowshoes. A boot should be fine, you'd think, but she insists that she can't use them. She's being terribly fussy about the whole thing. Alright, let's see. Why am I allowed to... Does this just time out, or is it me actively clicking out? No, it times out.
I've already said.
Also, where did
I can't
Hardman
see
go?
anything I see nothing remarkable.
Is there
Nothing
something?
to see.
I swear there's something inside of his shoe. That looks like there's something in there. But okay, fine. She can't see anything of interest. Maybe. Because if we wanted the coal powder... Yeah, we can't look under that bed. If we wanted the coal powder, we'd have to break the lump of coal apart.
I can't see.
Which I would think would require the hammer. is an empty room. But this is the one that has the ham radio, isn't it? It's just a regular. This looks like just a regular one. But we need to get a battery going. Now, I know we could get battery going with a lot of lemons, some potatoes, and some copper. But I'm not sure that's going to be quite the solution here. I'm also trying to think, because we need something to... Oh,
Senorita.
no, all of your buttons are there. Alright, we're going to try just like giving this guy random stuff and see if something works. Because personally, I would have thought, you know, maybe giving him a lump of coal would have worked. But apparently not. So, what else do we have that's really hard?
I have something I think will be adequate to replace your magnificent hammer.
Okay, that was literally a guess
What a
to give him the...
wonderful object. This will do nicely.
Oh,
Please take the hammer with my compliments.
that's a lucky guess. Okay, I'm not gonna complain. You know what? I'm not gonna complain. Okay, so from here we can go get the nails out of the baggage car. Which means then we should hopefully have snowshoes, yeah? Please tell me this thing has claws.
The nails were loose. Well, what do we have here?
Aha!
I'd better put the lid back.
I can't go out of these, no? No.
This door leading out.
I hate thinking. Listen, that one was very much a lucky guess. I just saw something, I was like, hey, you hit people with these. Turns out I was right. Okay, let's see.
No, the snow.
I have the snowshoes.
I confess that your logic...
What do you mean it escapes you?
That isn't such a...
I confess that...
Huh?
No, the snow...
I have snowshoes. Use them. Oh, these are bound. These are tied. Do we have a pair of scissors? I may have been overzealous in coming out here. Need to unwrap the wire. Okay, so pliers. Must be good for something. Oh. We apparently discovered a clue. So this was Constantine's invitation for a speech on antibiotics and their use in the treatment of primary chlamydia and induced enteritis. You know what? War was going to break out in a couple of years' time, and chlamydia, as well as crabs, would actually become quite a big problem. So that's a very good speech to have. That's a very... Man is doing a good thing. You place the relevant passages in your scrapbook. Oh, wait, shit. Yes, because last time I cheated and I used my actual thing to get the Revelations passage, and it's the thing about the number of the beast shall be. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the numbers of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 636. Yes. He cheated, what a loser. Yeah, I turned around and I took my Bible off of the shelf behind me. Oh, we didn't read this. November 17th, 1934. Mummy dear, Max sends his love, of course, as do your beautiful grandchildren. I'm sorry we'll only have the one night before you sail home, but the memories of your visit with us will begin... Well, the memories of your visit with us as you began your tour will remain with us always. They are so looking forward to you tucking them in on your last night in Europe and telling them another heartwarming bedtime story. They asked me to tell you that they particularly enjoyed the one about Hansel and Gretel, as I did when I was their age. Precious little Susie wonders if there's a recipe for baked witch. Isn't she clever? And darling Max Jr. wanted to go right out and shoot the big bad wolf and skin him to make you a warm winter wrap. I know he got the stories mixed up, but he's growing into such a little man. What troubles you had in Prague and Istanbul with the outrageous service at hotels, careless porters, beggars and the like, particularly after the incidents in London and here. Traveling outside America can be a chore. I've been doing the wrong accent. But I'm sure the American consulates, those oases of American values in far-flung lands, were able to help you to sort things out. But just think, Mummy, inconveniences and unpleasant foreigners are all behind you now as you travel aboard the luxurious train. It is simply the easiest way in the world to travel. Just sit in the train until you reach Paris. I can't wait to see you again and hear all about the fun times you had aboard my favorite train in the world. Your loving daughter, Maureen. Okay, so Maureen is the lady who was talking about one day you'll be able to go into a restaurant in Turkey and just get a hamburger. The viciously patriotic. Poirot helped me to restore heat to the train. He's done nothing of the sort. Huh? He's just sat there complaining. Okay, maps. Suspects. Okay. Heat the train. Okay, I think that's all just flavor text, which I will not be reading through all of it. I'm sorry, chat, but I won't. Okay, do we have pliers or some sort that can be used to unwrap? Does the typewriter ribbon apart from using it as a paperweight, I can't imagine any use for it in its present state. So yeah, we'd have to break this down. Ooh, with the hammer. That might work. I'm trying to think. Oh! I think we would use the... Oh, maybe we can use the tongs. I'm thinking maybe we're going to end up using the typewriter ribbon. This. We can use this to at least get fingerprints from the guests, because then we have napkins for them to dry their fingers off afterwards. But let's quickly see. Get rid of that. Give me the hammer. And give me that lump of coal. Let's see if we can break it down.
I smashed the lump of coal into a fine powder.
I'm a freaking genius. Okay. Fingerprints. 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 Let's go.
Senorita.
No, yeah, I don't give a shit about the cold, man. I'm doing fine. Although, actually, in fairness, today I went to go watch The Boy and the Heron again because it's a really good movie, and I went with my dad. I have never been in a cinema that was that freaking cold before. That was viciously cold. Seriously, viciously cold. Which of these had the things that could be investigated or looked at? Let's see, because remember there was like the one where we could... There was the one room where we could look at a couple of things.
The door is...
Okay. Engineer's room, was it? Huh? No. If you had the homies with you, it wouldn't have been a problem. I suspect even if my homies were sitting on my fucking lap, that room, that theater would have been freezing. That was just way too cold. We're about it, Chad.
You presume that this would be the choice.
Shut up, Poirot.
Mille pardon, mademoiselle. Your car...
What do you mean? Let me put it on. Oh, wait, we have ads in progress? Okay, I'm gonna wait for just a second. I suppose... We would need a way to get the pipe cleaner... The pipe cleaner. We would need a way to get... I just want to see if this works.
Something is wrong here.
Nope. We need a way to apply the tape. I need a way to apply the dust. Ow, that actually hurt.
I can't get them to fit.
Yeah, that actually did kind of hurt. I hit the desk a bit too hard. Ow. Shit. Let's see, what else do I have that could potentially be combined? Let's see, this was the dead man's tumbler. If we put...
This doesn't seem to work.
Items cannot be combined. But what if I put the sellotape with it?
Something is wrong
Nope.
here.
And you wonder about the bruises? Listen, I can still deal with the bruises. It's when I wake up with random cuts on my arm that I worry. That's when I need to start getting really concerned about where some of these bruises and cuts are coming from. Let's see. Do we have other ways of... I'm not sure the pipe cleaners are going to help here. I'm busy scratching my chin, but I don't think you guys can't see it, unfortunately. Trying to think. What are my options? Might be that we're not actually ready to do that yet. In which case, we need something to replace. I need something to replace the pipe. Which I don't have right now. I don't have any piece of metal piping. Smudges near the top. Okay. Possibly also their fingerprints. Right. I'm just gonna get comfortable here. Okay. Gremlin seeding activated. This means we're getting serious about this. So, I don't have anything. Let's see if I can just... At this point, I'm just inventory organizing. Give me a second. I think things over. So we have the cloths there. Random shit goes there. Are you sure you need to untie the snowshoes? Pretty sure, because I mean... They are bound at the top by copper wire, is what the thing said. Okay, that's not that. That is also la patrie. What was this one? Box of recipes. Okay, maybe that's used for the chef a bit later on. I don't know. This here. So... I have the gloves to deal with the pipe because I got the fireman's gloves, so I can deal with the extreme heat, so I can fix that. I just need to actually put something in its place and somehow get it to hold there. That's going to be somewhat important, I suspect. Instead of, like, something needs to hold the pipe there. You can't just... Like, oh no, then again, this is a game from 2006. You might be able to just put the pipe there and have it stick. I don't know. Let's see if there's... Let's be smart about this. Salon car. Let's see if there's anything there that we can... I know none of the guests are going to speak with me. They're all just going to talk about how cold it is. Hardman is still missing. It's interesting. I have no idea where he went. He entered the Athens-Paris coach, but they never left, but no one saw him go in or out. That's where we got the tape. There's nothing with the tumblers. And the glasses, we don't need anything more with. Or can't do anything more with. These two are going to ignore me. Mary is going to ignore me. For some reason, she's the only person whose name I remember. Wait, it's the mustache. It's not the mustache. Drop frames. Oh. We're back. Okay, that was interesting because like I reconnected like a minute ago, but it's only seeming to show it now. Question mark. Okay, you guys, we're back. Huh? We're back. Everyone's still here. Everyone's still. I'm so scared. You actually wanted the mustached man to come back. Look at you guys. That's character development. I'm proud of you. Okay. Stop scaring. I'm not trying to. I'm trying to do my best here, okay? Okay. Is everything... Wait a damn minute. What now? Okay. That's... That's hyperlayer. DE. Cool. Okay, I'm not going to change relay server right now because that's going to make me have to basically end the stream for like a little bit. Okay, but it is there. So if I need to, if it does go down again, which it shouldn't, I am ready to swap servers. But that was interesting and a little bit annoying. Okay, you're okay, cool. What if the pink mustache is just the Pringles man's attempt at me? No, this is supposed to be my great debut as a brilliant detective that is here to something. I'm here to solve crimes and kick ass or something like that. Okay, Stash gives a lot of detective vibes. Actually, let me see. Can I get to torment? It's a bit small. Let me see. None of these are at the nice angle. I'd have to actually go and draw a detective hat for myself, I think. Yeah, these are all a bit small. Okay, as long as everything is going and, okay, bitrate looks stable. Okay. Let's come back to this. Okay, I'm going to trust everything is looking okay.
I beg your...
I didn't want to talk with you. Okay, we can't get in there. We've cleared out the baggage car. I feel like pliers are either with the engineer up front or I can't get to Masterman and Foscarelli.
This door is...
McQueen. I think it would be if there's anyone on board. Wait, let's go. The engineer and the fireman are both back here. Wait, Lucian's one of the cab people, maybe? I feel like our answer for pliers is going to be here. I think we need to get the snowshoes undone first. Where are the snowshoes now? Wait, can I do this in all of them?
Good idea, but...
Huh? I've been able to do that the whole time? Okay, okay. That explains why we are able to do this. Like, why we're able to... What is that? Was that a wrench or was that... Okay. You know what? Let's see. I feel like this is...
The snowshoes are now quite usable.
Yes! Okay. And we got the copper wire. The copper wire will probably be used for the radio, I'm guessing. But we don't have a battery to connect it to, so... Okay, let's go. We can probably walk over that area where Poirot said it was too deep.
No, the snow.
We have snowshoes, I told you.
Does nothing strike you as...
Oh, I have to actually use them on myself. How does snowshoes even work? I think from the looks of it, it's about distributing weight across the surface. I've never actually looked at it.
I'm not sure what I expect to find wandering around out here.
Neither do I, babe, but we're doing it anyway. Fuck it. We just... Oh, there's the deer from the opening screen.
A deer. I should leave her alone.
Wolves. There's wolves about, and we're just walking around out here.
It would be...
Okay, I think we're getting lost. This is... Shit.
This looks like a dead end.
You say that, but there must be a reason we're allowed to come here. Surely? Okay, I don't...
This looks like...
Looks like a dead end. Looks like a dead end. Okay, maybe it is the other way. Keep going left. That's... What's this? Wait, what the hell is that? A metal spout? What's that just doing embedded in a tree? Extremely sharp on one end and it has a tap. Kind of looks like a lightsaber, not gonna lie. This is where we started, isn't it? Oh wait, we said... Let's not fuck with the wolf. Let's... Okay, the wolf. Good to know. I think we're going to need some form of meat. Maybe we can get some meat from the chef. Oh, the bit. Okay, there's another wolf here. Yeah, we can't just get around them. Maybe we can get some form of meat from the chef that allows us to... Gun? Okay, you would love Lara Croft. The two of you would get along well. We don't try and shoot everything here on site. Besides, that gun is technically evidence. I'm not sure how well the police would take it if we used that to just start shooting. Can we use this?
I am sorry,
here?
mademoiselle, but I...
No? Okay. Do I have to use the gloves on me?
That isn't such a
No.
good idea.
Just a warning shot in the air? Maybe? We can go and try it now. What about...
Your current
Okay.
course.
Is a mystery to Poirot. I wouldn't hesitate if it was a bow. Contaminate. Yeah, listen, this is 1930s. I don't think crime scene investigation is quite where it is now. I think people are allowed to get away with a lot more. Let's see, maybe I can...
No, the snow.
do I have to equip the snowshoes manually each time? I swear if this is actually what...
Remember, mademoiselle, you are the intruder here, not the wolf. It is senseless to harm the creature.
Nah, Poirot.
Moth.
That worked? Shit, okay. That worked. Is that another metal spout? Why are these just sitting in trees? Like, does no one have questions
I
about
can't get
this?
them to... This looks like a dead...
No one's gonna question the fact that it's just random ass. It worked? Yeah, it worked apparently. Let's see if we can do it again.
Remember, mademoiselle,
The gunshot seemed...
That still doesn't answer my question as to why there's random metal spouts just sticking out of the trees here. Like, that feels a bit intentional.
throwing yourself from the cliff would not aid.
I didn't say throw yourself off the cliff. I wanted to look.
The view from here...
A hut out here in the middle of nowhere.
And right here by the avalanche site. Me starting to think that the
shepherd's hut.
avalanche...
Probably only used when the snow it is gone and he brings his sheep up to the high pasture.
You say that, but I'm beginning to suspect that the avalanche wasn't quite as coincidental as what we think. I'm starting to think it was a setup.
One of the bars appears to be quite loose.
This
Okay.
door is...
We can't... There we have a hammer. What's that saying? When all you have is a hammer, every problem starts looking like a nail?
Fantastic.
Iron bar, which we can use as a crowbar. No cap. No shot. It worked. Okay. Huh? Okay, so the attendant's uniform is here, as well as a knife. That's cool.
An antique stove. I haven't seen one of these in years.
Stop sounding so excited. Okay, how did this get in here? Because this would mean that whoever left this here... It is an attendant's uniform. The label reads petite. There's a button missing and something metallic in the pocket.
A second passkey? So, the mystery of how a murderer may pass through the locked doors, it is now explained.
Okay, but we kind of knew that because we had the other document. There's a second passkey. Okay, so that kind of explains how... Well, we already knew that the murderer had a key because we had that other document, right? We had this. Uniform in Belgrade Station. Washroom. Pass key in the pocket. Lots of rooms in the Athens-Paris coach will be empty. Hide in one of them until... Rod? It's about time the dirty rat got what's coming to him. So we knew that the murderer had a key. The question now, is this knife the murder weapon? And committing more crimes and solving them. At this point, we're breaking into abandoned properties. I'm not sure if that still counts as trespassing. The button from this uniform? I think so. We'll check now. Yep, backside of this blade is stained with dried blood, and I think I see a smudge on the handle. Okay. If I combine...
This doesn't seem to work.
No, I can't put them back together. But we found the missing uniform. The make is petite, but that just because the other guy has a jacket from the same brand doesn't mean anything. But this is interesting. I wonder the... Did they stay here overnight? Because there's no one here now. Yeah, okay, there's...
Nothing of interest. Nothing of interest.
I can't seem to check under the bed for anything. We can't look on the bed either. Oh!
I can't loosen the pipe.
Oh! We found it! We found it! We found it!
I confess that you...
No, can't hit it. We found the replacement pipe. Apparently the pliers work as a wrench as well. Shit, she's strong. She just pulled that motherfucker right off. Okay.
No, the snow.
Why'd you take the snow? Okay, you took the snowshoes. Okay, that one's on me. You did go indoors. Okay. We have what we need, I think, to fix the broken pipe. What? In the pocket? Yeah, in the pocket there was only the second pass key, which explains how the murderer got about the train.
Wonderful. That should hold, at least until we are rescued. Not a bad job, if I do say so myself.
The thing just fit on there, apparently. We're doing so well.
The heat is now restored. Now on to the matter of murder.
Now on to the matter of murder. What's that TikTok sound? You are beautiful and capable of great things, like murder.
Yes, miss?
Monsieur Masterman,
Yes.
my name is Antoinette Marceau. I'm assisting Monsieur Poirot in his inquiries.
Yes, the attendant has explained that to me. The service is quite good, I must say. I prize good service highly, of course. My compliments.
Apparently, doing
Thank
murder
you. I would like to
investigations
ask you some
is just part of the
questions.
train's.
Yes, I
It's just
expect
part
you
of the
would.
train service.
I shall
It's just
help in
something that
any
the
way
train
I can.
company does. You are the valet
you are
of
the
Monsieur
valet
Ratchet?
of Monsieur Ratchet.
Yes.
Well, you were.
May
I have your passport, please?
Of course. Here you are.
Your
No
full
questions
name,
asked.
age, and address.
Edward Henry Masterman, 51. 21 Friar Street, Clerkenwell.
Okay, when did you last
When
see
did you last
Monsieur
see
Ratchet?
Monsieur Ratchet?
What do you mean, huh? Have you never
About
heard that sound
9:35 or
before?
9:40 last night, miss.
Can you tell me what
Can you
happened?
tell me what happened when you saw Monsieur Ratchet?
I went into Mr. Ratchet as usual, miss, and attended to his wants.
And what were his
What were your
wants?
duties exactly?
To fold or hang up his clothes, miss. Put his dental plate in water and see that he had everything he needed.
Was his manner the same?
as usual?
Well, miss, I think he was upset.
In what way upset?
Over a letter he'd been reading. He asked me if it was I who had put it in his compartment. Of course, I told him I hadn't done any such thing, but he swore at me and found fault with everything I did.
Okay.
Did your master ever take a sleeping draught?
Yeah.
Always
Did
when
he
traveling
drug?
by train, miss. He said he couldn't sleep otherwise. Even the express affected him, I am sorry to say.
Did he take it last night?
I poured it into a glass and put it on the table for him, though I didn't actually see him drink it.
Was it unusual
Was
for him
it
to swear?
unusual
He
for
seems
him
like the
to
sort of
swear
man
at
who
you?
would have swore
Oh, no,
at you.
miss.
But
He lost his
yeah,
temper easily.
that's what I thought.
It just depended what had happened to upset him.
Do you
know
know
what drug he usually
drug
took?
he was in the habit of taking?
I couldn't say I'm sure, miss. There's no name on the bottle, just sleeping draught, and to be taken at bedtime.
I'm not
When
familiar
was
with the
his
drugs of
usual
the era.
bedtime? When aboard the train?
A midnight, miss, or later. With the avalanche last night, I fancy he wouldn't fall asleep until closer to 1.
Do
Did
you
mix
mix
his
his
usual
sleeping
dose
draught?
of the sleeping draught?
A half dose only, miss, at Mr. Ratchet's request. I can't say the reason.
What
happened next?
I asked him if there was anything else he required. He asked me to send for Mr. McQueen. Then I left
Mr.
him.
McQueen?
Was Monsieur Ratchet an early riser?
It depended, miss, upon his mood. Sometimes he'd get up for breakfast. Sometimes he wouldn't get up till just on lunchtime. I would wait until the attendant came to collect me.
Did
Did you know that he
your
had
master
enemies?
had enemies?
Presumably, yes.
Yes, miss. I had heard him discussing some disquieting letters with Mr. McQueen.
Did you like him?
your employer, Masterman?
I should hardly like to say that, miss. He was a generous employer.
But you didn't like him.
Shall we put it that I don't care very much for Americans, miss?
My apologies to any Americans in chat. The butler does not like you.
Do you know of any bad blood between your master and Monsieur McQueen?
No, no, miss. Mr. McQueen was a very pleasant gentleman. For an American.
Jesus, this guy is so xenophobic.
How
long have you been with
with
Ratchet?
Monsieur Ratchet?
Just over 9 months, miss. Before that, I was with Sir Henry Tomlinson in Grosvenor Square. I was with him for several years before he left for East Africa.
I'm assuming you didn't like that either.
Have you ever
Ever
been
been
in
to America?
No, miss.
Yeah, I don't think he'd want to go to
Do
America
you remember
either.
the Armstrong kidnapping case?
Well, yes, I remember reading something about it. A little baby girl, wasn't it? Very shocking affair. But what has that...
Your employer, Monsieur Ratchet, was the man behind the kidnapping.
I'm at a loss for words, miss. I can hardly believe it.
Are you a pipe smoker? You don't strike me as a
No,
smoker.
miss. I only smoke cigarettes. Gaspers, miss.
Okay, so it wasn't your shit that was left
What
there.
did you
But did
do
your
after
employer
leaving
smoke
your
though?
master?
I told Mr. McQueen, miss, that the master wanted him. Then I came along here to my compartment and read. I was in bed by 10:30.
Who do you share
Sensible
this room
man.
with?
A big Italian fellow.
Does he speak English?
A kind of English, miss. He's been in America. Chicago, I understand. He was in here playing cards with another American, a Mr. Hardman. The game broke up soon after I entered, and Mr. Hardman left.
Do you and the Italian gentleman talk together much?
No, miss. I prefer to read. At present, I'm quite enjoying Love's Captive by a Mrs. Arabella Richardson. At about 10:30, the Italian fellow wanted to go to bed, so the attendant came in and made the beds up.
Did you go to bed then?
I went to bed, but I didn't sleep, miss. I had a toothache.
I'm sorry. Was it painful?
I'm so sorry. Was your toothache painful?
Most painful, miss. I applied some oil of cloves, which relieved the pain a little, but I still was not able to get to sleep. I turned the light on over my berth and continued to read, to take my mind off of it, as it were.
So you didn't
You
sleep
did
at
not
all?
sleep at all?
I finally dropped off about 4 this morning.
Did the Italian
Did the
gentleman sleep?
So no one
Him?
entered or left?
Oh, he snored. I confess I envied Mr. Ratchet his sleeping draft, miss.
Did your
So
companion
the other
leave
guy didn't
compartment
leave
at
at any
all during
point?
the night?
No, miss.
Okay, so that
Did you
scratches
leave
him and the
compartment
Italian
at
off.
all?
No, miss.
Did
you
you
hear
hear
anything?
anything during the night?
I don't think so, miss. The train being at a standstill made it all very quiet.
Good day, monsieur.
Okay, so in this case, the butler did not do
Et
it.
voila.
It voila.
Regardez, mademoiselle.
Ah, Love's Captive. It's the exact book he said that he was reading. So that adds up.
I see no.
Right, just the regular shoes.
Nothing to find.
Okay. I'm so annoyed that I could have done that at any point.
I'll put this into my...
She just takes shit. She really doesn't think. The guy's even sitting in here. No thought. She just goes through it and takes
Good
it.
idea, but
All right,
Say,
McQueen.
this is mighty nice. What can I do for you?
my name is Antoinette Marceau. I'm assisting Monsieur Poirot
Also, yes, at
with
this
his
point, I'm assuming we're just
investigation.
into the
You
interrogate
know
the
name,
suspects.
perhaps?
It does seem familiar, only I always thought it was a dressmaker.
Monsieur, for all our sakes, please do not repeat that in front of Monsieur Poirot. Do you promise me?
I think I just about promised you anything. Oh, darn it, there I go, sounding like Mr. Ratchet. Not
You.
enough of him, I expect, at the market in Istanbul. I didn't mean anything by it except, well, except it's the truth. I love your accent. A little bit of British, a little bit of French, a lot of heaven. Darn it, there I go again.
This man is like
It is not
head
a
over
problem,
heels in
monsieur,
love with
but
her.
we must
Absolutely
be serious
smitten.
now. Don't you agree?
Serious, yes. Yes, of course.
May
Can I just have your passport,
please?
McQueen?
Sure. Here you go.
What is your full
Oil
name,
broker.
age, and address?
Hector Willard McQueen. I'm 28. You're about what? 24, 25?
Your address, Monsieur McQueen?
That's right,
Never,
Hector.
never quiz
Always
the
saying
age.
the wrong thing. That's me. I live at 58 Warren Street, New York.
Creepy fella. Yeah, this guy, as the kids say, this guy does not have Riz.
What can you tell me about Monsieur Ratchet?
The actual truth is, Miss Marceau, it is Miss, isn't it? Wait, don't have to answer. None of my business. The truth is,
Dude,
I don't know
get
anything
to
about
it.
him. He never spoke of himself or his life in America.
Okay, and you are his
Monsieur
secretary.
Ratchet's secretary?
Yes, for just over a year now. I met him in Persia. I'd come over from New York to look into an oil concession. I don't suppose you want to hear all about that. Getting oil out of Persia can get pretty difficult these days. Anyway, my friends and I had been let in rather badly over it. Mr. Ratchet was in the same hotel. He just had a row with his secretary, so he offered me the job.
Oh, that is the dude
He
of-
was collecting
I can have
antiquities,
Riz
but
if I
not
wanted
knowing
to.
any languages, was having kind of a hard time of it. I
Of
was
course,
pretty down and out, so I
yeah, the
jumped at it.
American talking about the oil. What a surprise. Okay, you must have formed some theory about
You
Monsieur
must have formed
McQueen.
some theory about him, Monsieur McQueen.
No, about Monsieur
Well,
Ratchet.
yes, I did. For one thing, I don't believe Ratchet was his real name. I think he left America in order to escape from someone or something. I think he was successful until a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, what happened then?
He began to get letters, threatening letters.
Did you see those
Did
letters?
you see these threatening letters?
Yes, it was part of my job to attend to his correspondence.
Do you still have the letters?
I've still got a couple in my files.
How did he
did Monsieur
receive
Ratchet
these
act
letters?
when he
You
received
don't
the
believe
first
me? You
letter?
don't have to believe me.
It's difficult to say. He passed
I
it
know
off
what
with a
I'm
laugh in that
capable of.
quiet way of his. But somehow, I felt that there was a good deal going on underneath the quietness.
Did
Did
you
you
know
know
that Monsieur
that,
Ratchet had
yeah.
asked Monsieur Poirot to help him?
No, I had no idea.
Did you like your employer, McQueen?
No, I did not.
Why not?
I can't exactly say. He was usually quite pleasant in his manner. I'll tell you the truth. Antoinette... sorry, Miss Marceau. I disliked and distrusted him. He was, I am sure, a cruel and dangerous man.
Were you on good terms with your employer?
Did you have a motive?
This is where I'm supposed to go all goose-fleshy and shifty-eyed, right? Like some thriller? You got nothing on me. And so on? Yeah, sorry, but Ratchet and I were on perfectly good terms.
When did you last see Monsieur Ratchet alive?
Okay, if you
Last
say
evening
so.
about 10 o'clock, I guess. Masterman fetched me. Mr. Ratchet wanted me to take down some memoranda for him.
On what subject?
Some pottery he'd bought, and a statue we were bringing back to Paris with us. It's in the baggage car.
Monsieur McQueen, you are correct. Ratchet was an alias.
I knew it! Who was he?
He was Cassetti, the man behind several notorious kidnapping cases, including the famous affair of little Daisy Armstrong.
That damn skunk! If I'd known that, I'd have cut off my right hand before I'd write another letter for him. May he burn in hell.
I didn't mean to upset you.
I have reason to be upset. My father was the district attorney who handled the case. I saw Mrs. Armstrong more than once. She was a lovely woman, so gentle and heartbroken. If ever a man deserved what he got, Cassetti's the guy. I'm rejoicing. A man like that wasn't fit to live.
You almost feel you could have murdered him yourself?
I do. Seems I'm kind of incriminating myself here.
So you have a motive, is what you're saying. Do you smoke a pipe?
Monsieur McQueen?
Nope. Don't smoke at all, as a matter of fact. I know they say it's healthy, but I don't.
They say it. Oh, yeah. This is a point in history where they thought smoking was healthy. That's the thing. That was the thing that
Can you
happened.
describe your movements last
King
night?
George II was
see.
prolific smoker,
I fell into conversation with that Englishman, Colonel Arbuthnot.
mainly
Then
because,
I
like, they
went
said it would
to
help
take
him
down
with his
some
stuff.
memoranda
It was
for
George II.
letters Mr.
wasn't
Ratchet
it?
wanted written, like I told you.
Was
When
the
I
one,
came
was
out,
the
the
one
colonel was
who
down the hall
was the
waiting
one that
while
that
he
movie
attended
The
me
King's
at his
Speech
bed.
is made about.
He came along back to my room here, and we discussed world politics. The government of India, the Wall Street crisis. I don't, as a rule, cotton much to Britishers. They're a stiff-necked lot. But Arbuthnot is all right.
There's a lot of xenophobia on this train. Yeah, did you hear or see anyone?
In the corridor while you were talking?
Let's see. Yes. The attendant passed along once from the direction of the restaurant car. I caught a glimpse of his uniform. Then I do remember some woman in a silk
I've
scarlet
forgotten
something
about
or
the
other.
woman in the
Again,
kimono.
just a glimpse. She was headed the other way, towards the restaurant car.
Did you see her return?
No, now that you mention it, I don't think I did. But I suppose she must have.
What time did the colonel leave you, McQueen?
What time was it that the colonel left you?
Pretty late. Getting on for 2 o'clock, I'd say.
And you were
You
together?
were together when the train stopped.
Yeah, shook me up a bit. But the colonel was as cool as ice water. He's been in some tough scrapes, I'd guess. A near train wreck didn't even make him blink.
What happened after you said goodnight?
What happened after Colonel Arbuthnot said goodnight?
I think we've reached
I
the
saw
part
the
of the game
attendant
that's a
to make up my
lot of
bed,
just listening
then
to
hit the
people
sack.
talking.
What sack did you hit, and why?
Have you never heard the
I
saying?
went to bed. Slept till morning.
During
Alright,
the
you didn't
evening,
leave
did
at
you
all?
the
You
train
didn't
at all?
move about?
Only when Arbuthnot and I got out at Belgrade to stretch our legs. When we saw you. But it was bitterly cold, so we hopped back on again.
Which door did you use?
The one closest to here.
Do you remember if the door you used was bolted?
Yes, I seem to remember it was. At least there was a kind of bar that fitted across the handle.
Did you replace the bar when you returned to the train?
You know, I don't think I did. I remember now. I left it unbolted for you. Say, listen, since we know that Ratchet was really that swine Cassetti, there's something you should know.
Go on.
Yes.
One night, late, after he'd received those threatening letters, I heard him working at my typewriter. He never did that. He always dictated his letters to me. From then on, wherever we were, he insisted on access to the safe. Whatever that document was, it was important enough that he traveled with it
safe?
wherever we went. If there wasn't a safe available, he had one installed. I know for a fact he had
The
one installed in the
security
security
room.
room in the baggage car. I saw it when we were loading his crate.
Do you have the combination?
If he didn't trust me to type it for him... you
I know
really
the
think he'd give me
combination.
the
It's
combination?
666.
Merci, Monsieur McQueen.
Okay. first thing, let's just check those documents that we stole from this guy. Chatty letter. No, not that one. Ooh, here we go. Threatening letter. Thought you'd double-cross us and get away with it, did ya? Not on your life. We're out to get you, Ratchet, and we will get you. We're gonna take you for a ride, Ratchet. Sometime soon, we're gonna get you, see? Alright. So, that would narrow down... Let's see, because... Where was the Daisy? Found dead. Child's body in shallow grave. At the arrest? William Taylor? Okay, but the one guy was executed, so it can't be him. Where is the safe? It's in the baggage car. Now, I'm wondering, because we have that pass key, I remember we asked about the safe room last time, and we were told that only the station master carried that key. But I'm wondering if this pass key fits.
That key doesn't.
It doesn't, so...
This seems to be a...
We need to find a key for the security door. Because that's where it's going to be kept.
These goods are being...
So we know where it is. We know what the... whatchamacallit, we know what the passcode is. But we don't know...
These menu cards are perfect for collecting fingerprints.
Fingerprints! Let's go!
Sterling silver.
You know, at this point, I don't question it. We just...
What they say about the chef is...
We just steal things. We just take them. I no longer question why she does things. What kind of knife did we steal there? Butter knife. Brilliant. Okay.
I'm
Mary.
sorry to disturb you. Not at all. As you can see, I'm not exactly occupied at the moment. And I do know you're
helping that funny little Belgian detective.
What can I do for you?
May I have your full passport, please?
It's in my compartment. Feel free to collect it. Your full
your-
name, permanent
okay.
address, and age, please. Mary Hermione Debenham, 32. I'm between permanent addresses at the moment.
Okay, so you're homeless. Got it. Yeah, you seem very much at ease.
Are you not distressed by what has happened? Distressed? I have not really thought about it from that point of view. No, I cannot say that I am at all distressed. After all, people die every day. They die, yes, but murder is thankfully a little more rare.
It depends where you live. It's pretty common here. Are you acquainted with this guy?
Monsieur Ratchet? I saw him for the first time at dinner last night. Oh, I suppose at the station, perhaps. I don't recall. How did he strike you? I hardly noticed him. He did not strike you as an evil personality? Really, I cannot say I thought about it. Whether or not I liked Mr. Ratchet's face does not seem to be helpful in finding out who killed him.
What can you tell me about the
murder last night? I'm afraid I have nothing to tell you. I went to bed and slept.
I suppose you have no alibi for that? Can I take your fingerprints?
Take your fingerprints. How very enterprising of you. How do we proceed? I have some typewriter ribbon. Splendid. This is all rather exciting.
Okay, we got Mary's fingerprints.
Do you
We're
know
becoming
who
real
Monsieur
detectives,
Ratchet
chat.
really was? Haven't a clue. Who was he? Cassetti, the man behind the Armstrong kidnapping. That was quite abominable.
The thing is, she's British. Would she really have all that much of a motive in the Armstrong kidnapping, right? Because Armstrong took place in America, in New York. So the family and the little girl lived in New York. I'm not sure if there's actually much of a reason for the Brit to want her dead.
Where did you begin your journey? Baghdad.
But then again, like, there's
What
so
were you
few
doing
Americans
there?
on board.
I have been acting as governess to 2 children. What is
What's your final
destination? London. I'm giving up on Baghdad. Not much happens there. I'm hoping to find a suitable post in London.
Oh,
What can
you share
tell
with
me about
Miss Schmidt.
Mademoiselle Schmidt? She's a nearly perfect traveling companion. Quiet, polite, thinks the world of her princess. What is the color of her dressing gown? Her dressing gown. It's dark blue. Flannel.
And your own?
Did Mademoiselle Schmidt leave your compartment at any time during the night? She was with the princess, reading, I believe, until quite late. I awoke when she returned. I remember thinking she was not paid enough for such long hours and checked my watch. It was 12:38.
How well do you know Mr.
Do you know
Arbuthnot?
Colonel Arbuthnot? That's a very impertinent question. And I'll not answer it. That will do for now, mademoiselle.
Very interesting, I think. All right, you two, let's see.
Countess, may I ask you some questions regarding the death of Monsieur Ratchet?
Governess?
I'm not sure what I can do.
Yeah, she
but I'll
would have had a problem, therefore, with anyone who...
May I take your finger? Yes.
It looks identical to the other ladies. So she would have had... What's the color of your dressing
What is the color
gown?
of your dressing gown?
Why do you ask me that?
Detectives have to ask all sorts of questions. Forgive me.
It is yellow. Corn-colored chiffon. Are you really a detective, mademoiselle? I was told
I
you
was
worked
made
for
an
the
impromptu
railway.
detective. It's
Well,
part of the
I'm
job.
assisting a detective. That's what I meant.
Is he a Yugoslavian detective?
No,
I
Belgian,
think he would
actually.
tell you he belongs to the world, madame.
Oh, that's a good answer. I'm just going to tell people
you
that I
been to
belong to the
America?
world.
No, mademoiselle. My husband was posted there. Diplomatic duties. But we were not married then.
What time did you fall
When
asleep
did you
last
fall
night?
asleep last night?
Soon after 1 o'clock, I believe.
Did you see or hear anything
Did you
unusual?
hear or see anything unusual last evening?
After the train stopped?
Yes.
No, I don't think so.
You didn't hear Mrs. Hubbard ringing her bell and calling out at around 1:15?
No, it would be very unlikely if I did. I'm sorry.
Why? You'd
Au
only
revoir,
gone to
Madame
bed
Comtesse.
15 minutes early.
Count
You might be one of those
Andreni,
people that
I
just
am
like
acting
falls
on
asleep
behalf of
immediately. I'm not
Monsieur
one of those. I
Hercule
have to lie
Poirot
awake
in
for
this
a
matter.
while.
May I speak with you?
I quite
Unfortunately.
understand your position.
You know
I'd
what?
like
Let's
to
just take your
fingerprints.
fingerprints.
Whatever you need to do, I will be happy to cooperate.
I'll be happy to cooperate. I see a slight difference from the previous person. May I have your passport, please?
Passport, please.
Yes, certainly.
Rudolf Josef Andreni, aged 34. A diplomatic passport.
And you guys just... Huh?
Yes.
Both
I
of
am
you
in
get
the
this...
Hungarian Council
I don't think that's how it
service.
works. I don't think you get family
Wife,
passports.
Elena Maria Andreni, aged 20.
Yes, we have only been married a year.
Aged 20, thank you.
Can you tell me how you spent the evening last night? Let's not lead with the
We had
information
my
about
wife's
who Ratchet
compartment
really
made up while
was.
we were at dinner. On returning, we sat up in mine playing piquet. At about 11 o'clock, my wife retired for the night. The attendant made up my compartment, and I also went to bed.
Interesting. Are you aware
Are
of
you
who
aware
Ratchet
of the identity
was?
of the deceased, monsieur?
If you want to know his name, surely it is in his passport.
The name on his passport is Ratchet. That is not his real name. He is in fact Cassetti, who was responsible
but these
for
guys
the
were
kidnapping
posted
and
in
death of
Hungary.
a child in America.
Ah, that certainly should throw light upon the matter.
So I don't... Hey, have you ever been to America?
Monsieur Lecomte?
Yes, I was in Washington for a year,
Extraordinary country.
Opposite
Did you know the
side
Armstrong
of
family?
Washington, as in like
kidnapped
the
Victor.
state or the city?
Yes.
Armstrong. Armstrong. It is difficult to recall. So many diplomatic functions. So many hands to shake. I cannot recall. I'm sorry.
Convenient. The sudden stop of the train. Oh, do you smoke?
Monsieur Leconte?
The occasional cigar only. They are always offered to me, you understand. But I do not.
Okay,
much
so
like
you're not a habitual smoker. So the cigar is probably Ratchet's. And the
sudden
train
stop of the
stopping
train
awake you?
awakened you?
Naturally. I learned from the attendant of the avalanche, then went into my wife and comforted her.
You did what to your wife? You know what? We're just gonna mark that as a sign of the times where language was used in different ways, and not the English language changes. I don't
When
think
did
it
you
meant the
return
same
to your
thing
own
in
compartment?
2006.
Well, I didn't, actually. That is to say, I did not like to leave my wife alone after the shock. We passed the remainder of the night together.
Yeah, you spent the rest of the night together as well. It all adds up. I'm sure she was very comforted.
Other than the train stopping, did you notice anything unusual?
No, I don't think so.
I mean,
I dropped off to sleep sometime before 2 a.m. and slept through until this morning.
You didn't hear the commotion in the compartment next to yours? The American lady who occupies it had quite an attack of hysterics and rang repeatedly for the attendant.
When was this?
At approximately 1:15.
No, I'm afraid
probably
we...
while you were busy
I
comforting
didn't
your
notice.
wife.
Good day, Monsieur Leconte.
Yeah, they were making their own commotion. I think the man was very busy with other matters. He was busy comforting his wife. Okay, we're just stealing shit at this point. In front of the attendant, he doesn't even
May
care.
I have your passport, please?
Oui, mademoiselle. You will find it in room 1-2 in the Athens Paris coach.
Okay,
I would
like
like
to take your fingerprints, please.
I see. Very well then.
Oh, I love how they all have exactly the same pattern. Like, there's like 3 different patterns for fingerprints, isn't there?
What can you tell me of your
It's
movements
like the fact
after
they
dinner?
all have that
I
particular
came in here
one.
to attend to the bar. After everyone went to
It's
their homes.
kind of
I
fascinating.
cleaned the salon car and went to the Athens Paris coach to rest.
What time was that?
I closed the bar at midnight, so it would be a few minutes after that.
Did you see anything
or
unusual?
hear anything unusual last night?
Other
No,
than
mademoiselle.
the others,
Athens Paris coach was very quiet.
the Hungarian
And of
fellow.
course, the door leading to the Calais coach is locked. One can pass through only if Pierre Michel or Matteo opens it for him.
What
I
do
don't
you
know why we're
of
asking about the
Klaus,
chef, but sure, let's ask about the
An
chef.
artiste de la cuisine, and just as temperamental as a painter. Vous
He's a
comprenez?
painter?
No one is allowed to enter his kitchen.
His menu seems to overemphasize meat dishes.
It is true that they call him Le Boucher, but not to his face, of course.
The butcher,
The
you
butcher.
say?
It suits him.
And I suppose he knows his way around with a knife.
Klaus seems even more temperamental than usual today.
I fear an approaching catastrophe, mademoiselle.
Worse than avalanches and murder.
Certainement. Special dinner menus, as you no doubt know, are printed in advance of our departure in Istanbul. Here is tonight's
Oh, we have
menu.
ads going? Okay.
As you can see, tonight is to serve Wiener Schnitzel and Eldafe Salat, native dishes of Austria, in honor of the Count and Countess Andreni.
Oh, Wiener
Veal and
Schnitzel.
potatoes. Why does this not surprise me?
But so many have asked for the salads, almost in defiance of Chef Klaus, and the porters have failed to put aboard enough vinegar and olive oil for the Eldafe Salat. Klaus is in a rage. The embarrassment will be too much for him.
I'll just wait for the ads to finish. running out before asking the next question, just so that nobody's left behind. Well, you know what? I'm still recovering from the Hungarian and his wife. I suppose when you're dealing with a murder investigation, you just have to tell the truth. And if the truth is, you know, you went to spend time with your wife, well, you went to go spend time with your wife. And you just hope that the detective knows not to ask questions beyond that. Yeah, okay, what do you know about the butcher's movements last night?
As usual, he stayed in his precious kitchen, preparing his pastries and sauces for the next day's meals. He passed through the salon car a few minutes before midnight in a rage because one of the steak knives is missing.
Oh, a knife is
Passengers will
missing,
take
you say?
anything as a souvenir if it is not bolted down. Why, the things that have gone missing on this trip would astound you.
But perhaps they were not all taken as souvenirs. Perhaps some person, in order
Yeah,
to do good,
that's crazy, dude.
borrowed them.
Mademoiselle, forgive me, but I do not understand what you are talking about.
That's crazy, dog.
Let it pass.
Imagine
What did
people
Klaus
just
do
stealing
after he
shit.
entered the salon car.
Nothing. We went together to the Athens-Paris coach.
Do you know Monsieur Ratchet
Yeah.
was killed with a knife?
I had heard this, oui, but why? You think Klaus may have stabbed him?
A chef that temperamental? If someone was to criticize his masterpieces?
Mais non, mademoiselle. C'est très absurd. Klaus would not stab anyone. Not with a knife. He would hack them into little medallions with his cleaver.
That will be enough.
Oh. I'm gonna be honest, you're probably not doing your friend any favors if an investigator asks, do you think they would be capable of murder? It's probably not the best answer to give to say, yes, but not in the way that this person was killed. They would totally do it in a
Monsieur
completely
Foscarelli.
different way.
Ah, signorina. I have been told you aid the great Hercule Poirot.
Like, I
in his
don't think that's the
investigation.
most helpful
I will help you in any way I can.
answer for your friend's sake. Let's
I
start
would
with your
like to take
fingerprints.
fingerprints.
Of course, of course. Anything to help.
Thank you.
Yep. Why did I even think that it would be something different? Do you
What
smoke?
do you smoke? A pipe, cigarettes, cigars?
Cigarettes only.
May I have your
No
passport,
luck yet on
please?
the.
Of course, of course. Here you are.
Okay, but we already know. We already know that this
You
guy
are
slept through the
Antonio
night.
Foscarelli. I see here you are
Because
a
the
naturalized
butler
American
already
citizen.
said that he
Yes,
slept through.
signorina. It is better for my business. I am, as you can see, a salesman of motor cars. I do big business. I am up to date. I understand salesmanship.
Do you travel
You
frequently?
travel frequently to and from the United States?
Yes, for the past 10 years or so.
Did you ever come across Monsieur Ratchet?
Never, but I know the type. Oh, yes. It is very respectable, very well dressed, but underneath it is all wrong. I should say he was a big crook.
Ah,
I give
car
you my
salesmen would
opinion for
know
what
crook
it is
when they
worth.
see one.
Your opinion is quite right. Monsieur Ratchet was Cassetti, the kidnapper.
Hey, topical
What
jokes.
did I tell you? I have learned to read the face. It is necessary. Only in America do they teach you the proper way to sell.
What were your movements like
Please
after
tell me
dinner?
your
I already know,
movements last night
but I
after
need
dinner.
to hear your
With
version.
pleasure. I stay here in the salon car for a while. It is more amusing. I play cards with the American gentleman who sells the typewriter ribbons.
All the
We
accents
talk
in this
shop,
game are
afterwards
ridiculous.
We retire to my compartment and play the cards some more. And talk more shop. That one, though, he is not the salesman Foscarelli is, I can tell you.
Do you
Yeah,
remember
he's-
the Armstrong case?
I do not quite remember, but yes. The name, it was a little girl, was it not?
Una bambina?
A baby, una bambina.
Yes.
Ah, well, these things, they happen, even in a great country like America.
Even in a great country like America.
Have
Best
you ever
Italian
come across
accent.
any members of the Armstrong family?
It is difficult to say. I see so many people, you understand. I'll give you some figures. Last year alone, I sold.
Please, monsieur, confine yourself to the point.
With a great pleasure.
Okay, so what time
What
did
time
you go to your
to your
compartment
compartment?
and start playing
Oh,
cards
it was
with
early.
the other guy?
8:30 or so.
What time did you stop?
Playing cards in your room?
Was it around 10?
Not yet 10 o'clock. That stuffed shirt of a valet who
stuffed
shares a
shirt?
compartment with me came back from attending his master. A miserable people, the English. Not sympathetic.
I'm gonna call
He sits
people
in
a
the corner,
stuffed shirt.
very
That's
stiff,
good.
reading a book. Mr. Hardman and I, we lose our taste for the cards, and Mr. Hardman, he goes off to his own room. The attendant makes up our beds.
And what time did you go to bed? Was it around
I lay on my
10:30?
bunker for a while. The Englishman has, I think, the toothache. He gets out a little bottle of stuff that smells very strong. He moans and groans. I drop off around 10:30. Whenever I wake, I
Around
hear
the
him
10:30.
groaning.
Did he ever speak
Did
of his
Monsieur
master?
Masterman ever speak of his master?
I tell
Masterman?
you, he did not speak, even to introduce himself. He was not a sympathetic, a fish.
Do you know if he left the room?
Monsieur Masterman left the room at all during the night?
I do not think so. If the door opened, the light from the corridor, one wakes up automatically thinking it is the customs examination at some frontier.
Why are you so worried
day,
about
monsieur.
customs? Hmm? Hello, Nick. How are you doing? Good to see you. I hope you had a good week. Right, let me see. I'm only missing 2 passports. And... surely I have more than that in terms of fingerprints. Oh, up here. Yes. Okay. Let's see. What about the passenger list? Suspects. Oh, we get to see everyone. Okay. So we're actually only missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 passports, but a lot of fingerprints. We found Le Killer yet? Not yet. We're working on it. We're working on it. We did get heat restored to the whatchamacallit. You.
Before I go,
Your
I'd
fingerprints,
like to take your
please.
fingerprints.
That's a rather messy procedure, isn't it? Do you have something I might wipe my hands on
I
afterwards?
do indeed. Now just
Yes, I
shut up
do.
and give me your fingerprints.
Napkins? A wet cloth was beyond your capabilities? Well,
You really
I
are a
suppose they will have
stuffed
to do.
shirt.
Thank you.
You know what? A stuffed shirt and a
That will be
fish
all, thank you.
was really, those were adequate descriptions of you. I agree with them. All right. Greta, I don't think is competent
Before
enough to
I
commit a
go,
murder.
I would like to take
But
your
we'll talk with her
fingerprints.
anyway.
Would you really? Say, that's swell. I mean, of course you can.
Does this man think that it's standard procedure in flirting and courtship
Thank
to
you
get the other
most kindly,
person's,
Monsieur McQueen.
like... Guys, have I been doing it wrong? Is it standard procedure during flirting and courtship to get the other person's fingerprints? Is that a standard thing that people just do? I'm gonna take that. Oh, that's Mary's. Right. Wait a second. That doesn't... And she said she's a governess. There's nothing here, and that don't look like her.
Yes, Fräulein. Frau Schmidt, I am helping Monsieur Poirot
boring
in the investigation of Monsieur Ratchet's
Theory lessons for
death.
trumpet and all that.
Will you assist me, if I can?
How was the lesson? How's the trumpeting going? What else would he ask for? Their phone number?
I would like to fingerprint you.
Oh no,
If
shit!
you
I'm
must.
learning things. Apparently, I need to be getting their fingerprints. Apparently, like... Well, actually, because I'm playing as a female protagonist, is it more natural to be like... for the woman to ask the guy for his fingerprints and, like, that's supposed to be really exciting? Or is it more supposed to be like... is it fine for either party to ask for fingerprints? This needs to be figured out. It's not playing. It's theories on it's like sheet music stuff.
May I have your passport?
Yeah, here it is.
You are Hildegard
German?
Schmidt, aged 43, living in St. Petersburg.
Where I attend Madame la Princesse, yeah.
Lynn, you can be the judge about this German accent.
What can you tell me of your movements last night after dinner?
I moved very little. I read to the princess Bleak House by the English writer Charles Dickens. The sudden stopping of the train interrupted us. Madame la Princesse luckily was not harmed. I returned to reading. I do not read aloud very well, but Her Excellency says that it is all the better. So it sends her better to sleep. When she became sleepy, she told me to go. I returned to the compartment I share with Fräulein Debenham.
It's all the better because it sends her to sleep sooner. Wow. Well, that actually reminds me. Back in high school, we had a guy who I didn't even know this was supposed to be German. Yeah, she's supposed to be German. But yeah, back in high school, we had a guy who he dropped one of his subjects, and he was supposed to study during that, but he still came to like our class because he used to do that class, and he was now supposed to study during it, but he dropped the subject. And I remember he apparently at some point sat down one day and he read out all of his notes because he insisted that he learned better when he listened. And so he'd read out and he'd recorded all of his notes and loaded them onto his phone, because this was the days where you had to like load music onto your phone, otherwise you couldn't listen to it or whatever. And he sat there and he started listening to his own notes in class. The man fell asleep listening to himself reading his own notes back. He actually passed out. He was knocked flat out, listening to himself reading his own notes back. It was beautiful.
What time was that?
It was very late. 1:30 or more.
Tell me about Mary.
Tell me about Mary
Sleepy.
Debenham.
She is a very agreeable young lady. She was already asleep when I came in after reading to
Already
Her Excellency.
asleep?
What color is Mademoiselle Debenham's dressing gown?
It is a pale purple. Mauve, I believe the English say.
She said it was dark blue. Did she leave the room at all?
Did Mademoiselle Debenham leave the room at all last night?
Not after I returned. I sleep lightly, Fräulein. You understand? Should Her Excellency require me.
I don't think you just choose to start sleeping lightly.
Have you ever been to America?
No, never.
Mauve,
I should like
mauve
to go
as the
someday.
English say.
Do you know who this man Ratchet really was?
He was not wretched?
His
was
name
not
was
Ratchet.
Cassetti. He was responsible for the death of a small child named Daisy Armstrong.
My God! I have heard of that. The kidnapping. It was wicked. Wicked! We are not so wicked as that in Germany.
Given that this game is set in like 1933 or 34, that yeah, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna tell her.
Is this your handkerchief, Frau Schmidt?
No, it is not mine.
It has the letter H, you see.
Ah, but it is a lady's handkerchief, that.
And you're not a
very
lady.
Expensive cambric handkerchief, embroidered by hand. It comes from Paris, I should say.
Did you see anyone as you returned to your compartment?
Only an attendant.
He was sitting at the end of the corridor.
No, Fräulein. He came out of one of the compartments in the middle. 2 or 3 doors from Madame la Princesse.
Was it Miss
it
Hubbard's?
Mrs. Hubbard's
Mrs.
compartment?
Hubbard's, sorry.
It may have been.
But I saw
means
him
that it
come
could have
out.
been.
You weren't in the corridor.
I most certainly was. He nearly ran into me, apologized, and hurried off in the direction of the salon car.
Oh, okay, so
A bell began ringing, but I do not think he answered
this is the
it.
killer
Then the bell started ringing.
leaving just
Yes,
before
Fräulein.
Hubbard started calling to say
The
that there was a man in
attendant
her
was
room.
Michel.
Our regular attendant. No, Fräulein.
What? What did he look like?
Small, dark. He had a little mustache. His voice, when he said, "Pardon," was weak
Never
and
trust someone with a
high-pitched,
mustache.
higher than mine. I'd never seen him before.
Thank you, Mademoiselle Schmidt.
If his voice is higher than yours, maybe it was a lady in disguise at that point.
Nothing to find.
Oh, do we have to speak with her?
Hello, miss.
Greta, you know Monsieur Poirot has asked me to help him investigate the murder.
This lady's so weird.
Yeah, I have heard this. It is satisfactory with you?
Very. Will you help me?
I will try.
This lady is incapable of committing murder. I'm not sure why
May
we're
I have
bothering.
your passport, please?
It is here.
Greta Sigrid Olsen, 49, of Stockholm.
Of course, I am a missionary now. Nurse at the school in Gemlik, and not much in Sweden.
Yeah, this game is set in 1934. Okay. I'd like to fingerprint you. Let's get that out of the way.
But of what am I accused?
Give me the fingerprints,
Nothing,
lady.
It's only formality.
Oh, I am sorry. Please fingerprint me.
I have my eye on you, Greta. If that's even your real name.
Your dressing gown is brown, is it not?
Yeah, you have seen it for yourself. Very comfortable, of Jäger wool.
Did you leave the compartment
Did you leave
last
this
night?
compartment again after helping Monsieur Poirot?
His ankle is not so very injured, you know. I looked at it again this morning. I think he is not as brave as some of my little children.
After Monsieur Poirot.
I woke several times, of course, but it is because you were peeking out and leaving the compartment, not I.
After that?
Eye on
When
Greta.
you finally settled down.
No.
No, I was very tired from all the activity. I slept. If
Just because I
had gone
asked for a
out,
fingerprints
not
chat
much.
does not mean that I'm into Greta.
I'm not sure. You were here in the lower berth.
I slept until
Don't get it
morning.
twisted.
I slept soundly enough that you might have gone out again. I do not know about that, but I myself was sleeping.
I myself is sleeping.
You gave Mrs. Hubbard a headache powder
She
last
slept?
night.
Yeah, poor lady with the pain in the head.
With the
That
pain
was
in the
around
head?
10:40, I believe.
I am not sure.
Did you
see
see
him in
anyone
the
in
corridor?
the corridor when you took Mrs. Hubbard the
Comfort
medicine?
her? No.
Not in the corridor, no.
What does that
Somewhere
supposed to
else.
mean?
I opened the door to the dead man's compartment by mistake. Mr. Ratchet. I was much ashamed.
Greta needs love too. You're not getting... She was born in 1885.
What did you and Mrs. Hubbard talk about?
The pain in her head. It started at the back and
Greta is
shaped
currently
itself
139
over
years
her
old.
eyes,
Okay.
and
Anything
That's a little
else?
bit out of my... That's a little bit out of my stretch.
She asked me if the door between her compartment and Mr. Ratchet's is locked. I check it for her.
And?
Weren't you also...
It is
Do you
locked.
think someone who's 139 years old would be able to get a moustache this good? Look at this. Does this look like the moustache of someone who's pushing 140?
Did
Yeah,
you
did you actually see him?
Yeah, in his bed he was, reading a book.
Ah, so you're still alive.
Did he say anything to you?
He laughed. He invited me. I do not care to repeat what he said. It inflamed my cheeks. I left at once naturally and went into Mrs. Hubbard.
That means you were the last person to see Monsieur Ratchet alive.
I am suspected
Ratchet invited her.
of all the people aboard the train. I am suspected.
No, you're too incompetent. How do I put this? So from the sounds of it, Ratchet invited to comfort her. That's comforting. Yeah.
Have you ever been in America?
No. Almost I go once. I was to accompany an invalid lady, but it was cancelled. I much regretted. They are very generous, the Americans. They give much money to schools and hospitals, and they are very practical.
Do you remember hearing of the Armstrong kidnapping case?
No. What was that?
A little girl was kidnapped and murdered.
Getting juicy.
Her mother
It's all the
and an
comforting
unborn
that's
child
happening on board
died
this
in
train.
childbirth. A member of the staff committed suicide. Monsieur Ratchet was the man behind the kidnapping.
That there are in the world such evil men. It tries one's faith. The poor mother. My heart aches for her.
That will do for now, Mademoiselle Olsen.
She is so weird. If not Greta, then her. I don't know, unfortunately... Do we have to fingerprint Poirot? I don't think so. I have to pass those long winter evenings in the sea. In some way. I highly doubt we need to get Poirot's passport and fingerprints. That would be a little bit strange. Hubbard? Come here. You're the obnoxiously loud American lady.
Nothing else.
But I've got some questions for you, see?
Well, it's about time. I must say, here I am with information that will solve your mystery for you, and it's hours before you show up. You are
She's even more
that
obnoxious
famous
than I thought.
detective, or whatever he is, aren't you?
Yes, madam, I have that honor.
I would think you'd be more on your toes. In America, the police would have arrested the culprit by now on my evidence.
Then let us proceed without delay.
Passport,
May
please.
I have your passport, please?
My passport? What do you want my passport for? I'm the witness, not the murderer. What is wrong with you people in this country?
This is Yugoslavia, madam. I am French.
That's what I said.
Your passport. Thank you. You are Caroline Martha Hubbard.
Martha's her middle name, that's why.
Great Neck, is it? Long Island?
That's what it says, doesn't it?
Ooh, wait, Long Island. What do you know about the Armstrong case?
You are traveling to Paris to meet your daughter.
What's wrong with her?
Yes.
She's American and very
The
opinionated.
day after tomorrow. Though, how can I do
But
that
she's
stuff
also
here?
next
I'll
door
never know.
to the guy that was killed. And last night, the killer exited from the cabin of the victim through hers. Oh yeah, fingerprints, please.
You.
What do you have there? A typewriter ribbon? You're gonna smear ink from that on my fingers?
No, I was gonna smear it on your
intention.
face.
And how do you plan to clean that mess off afterwards?
I have something to clean your hands with.
Cocktail napkins? Good gracious, sweetie. What kind of fleabag investigation are you conducting here anyway?
I wish you had
appreciate
died.
your cooperation.
She's pretty. I would ask for her fingerprint. She's married. It's Mrs. Hubbard.
What color is your dressing gown?
What an odd question. I have 2 dressing gowns, if you must know. A pink flannel that's kind of
Oh
cozy
wait,
on board
no,
ship,
no.
and
The
a
husband's
purple silk
dead. We
number
have a
that
chance,
my late
chat. We
husband,
have a
Mr.
chance.
Hubbard gave me.
But she's a little bit
But
obnoxious.
what in creation do you want to know that for?
Someone in a scarlet kimono was seen coming out of either your compartment or Monsieur Ratchet's. It is very difficult to tell sometimes which is which when all the doors are closed.
Well, it wasn't mine.
Then it must have been Monsieur Ratchet's.
That wouldn't surprise me any. I thought I heard a voice in there.
So speaking of, did you hear any sounds? Did you hear him comforting anyone?
Room?
Well, earlier I'd asked that Swedish lady, Mrs. Olson, if she had anything for a headache. She's
Never
a nurse,
gonna
you
get
know.
over that, dude.
Yes, I know.
Poor soul. Looking for my room, she'd opened the door to Mr. Ratchet's compartment by mistake. He laughed and said something not very nice, I think. But I couldn't make it out. She said, "Oh, I make a mistake. I ashamed to make a mistake," in that bizarre accent of hers. And he laughed again and said something about her being too old. The idea. My late husband, Mr. Hubbard, and I enjoyed conjugal relations right up to the very end.
Anything else?
After that, I heard snoring. Quite loud, like
You're giving me too much information here. Chill. Fuck. You know, I never realized as a kid that there was so much reference to sex in this game. Conjugal relations. Right up until the very end. The fuck calls it conjugal relation? Oh my word, it keeps getting worse. She's go for it? Nah, Nick. She has kids. She has grandkids.
Was it a woman you heard in Monsieur Ratchet's room?
Yes, I think it was.
Did you hear what was said?
Well, I didn't put a glass up to the connecting door and eavesdrop, for heaven's sakes. What sort of a person do you think I am?
Yeah, what kind of freak would do that? That would be so fucking weird. Imagine someone doing that.
When was it you heard this voice?
I have no idea.
No, apparently.
Sometime after the snoring died.
Was it before or after the train
Snoring
stopped?
died.
After the man in my room that you have so far failed to ask me about. I woke up, heard the voice, and that was that.
Tell me about the man you thought was in your room.
At last. No offense intended, sweetie, but you foreigners do just about everything backwards.
The man?
I don't like her.
I woke up.
I really don't like her.
And I knew, I tell you, that there was a man in there with me.
In your bed?
In my what? How dare you? No, in my compartment.
Yeah,
I was just so scared I couldn't scream. I just lay there and thought, mercy, I'm going to be killed by some foreigner. Those nasty trains. I just lay there with my eyes closed.
So it would have been fine if you were going to get murdered by an American.
Somehow I got my wits about me and I felt about with my hand and I felt.
Yes?
The bell button. I pressed it and pressed, but no one came. I thought, mercy, what if they'd murdered every single soul on the train? I went on pressing the bell, and at last, footsteps in the corridor. I dragged on my dressing gown, the pink one. I screamed, "Come in!" and switched on the lights, and would you believe it? There wasn't a soul there.
Yeah, you know, people sometimes really talk about how in the modern day we have no shame and everything's, you know, so everyone's so open about everything and so sexual. Clearly, in 1934, they were very happy to talk about their conjugal relations.
Michelle opened your door
and their comforting of each other to any random person who just happened to ask. So let's not just make it out as a modern society problem.
Here and now, I'm not one to imagine things.
He searched the compartment.
Your compartment?
Yes.
The game wasn't. No, it was made in 2006.
There wasn't room for a man to squeeze himself under there. I asked him to check the connecting door.
Before Michelle arrived, did either door open and close?
Sweetie, my eyes were squeezed shut tighter than a banker's fist. I didn't see. And with the bell
when was Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera at their peak? Now it's been like early 2000s, and they were very like sexually charged.
Was it bolted?
No, but I knew it had been because I asked the Swedish lady to check it when she brought me the headache powder.
Do you remember the Armstrong kidnapping?
I'll say I do. How that wretch that did it escaped scot-free, I'll never understand. I'd have liked to get my hands on him.
You could have, madam, when the connecting door was unbolted.
You mean Ratchet was the man?
Yes, his real name was Cassetti.
Well, imagine that. Wait till I tell my daughter.
More than the artists of today? When was...
Were you
Okay, hang on. Let's
acquainted
finish
with
this
the
conversation,
Armstrong
then I'll look for the
family?
song.
Well, they were from New York, too. But no, they moved in a very exclusive
When was
circle.
Sexy
I've
Naughty
always heard that
Bitchy
Mrs.
Me
Armstrong was a
released?
perfectly lovely
That was
woman,
early
and that her
2000s.
husband worshipped her. It was all incredibly sad.
I would like to dust the doorknob of the connecting door for fingerprints.
My, aren't you the little improviser? Be my guest, sweetie. Search the whole place if you'd like. I need a drink.
Mrs. Hubbard, wait. You dropped this.
That's not mine.
I thought as it has the initial H on it...
I've got mine right here. See? It's marked CMH, and it's a sensible thing, not that flimsy, expensive Parisian cambric. What good is a hanky you can't sneeze into?
To quote my mom, she's a real witch. Let me just check this. Dirty, sexy, naughty me. That's it. Bitchy me. When did that originally come out? 2008. So... Oh, but that was the cover. Was the original one 2004? The debut English album by Thai singer Taylor Young was debuted on the 14th of February 2004. Fuck your ad. I'm trying to do research here. It's important. We need to contextualize 2006. So yeah, I mean, you can compare and contrast that. Decide for yourself if it's better or worse than modern artists. Okay, before we dust fingerprints and everything, I'm going to see if I can finish just interviewing people and dusting for prints. We haven't dug through these people's luggage. What do they have? Oh wait, I saw a hand. No, okay.
I won't find...
What about the other suitcase? That's all one suitcase. Now there's her heels. So this is the comforting room. Got it.
A good idea, but...
Nothing in his
I won't
bag.
find...
There's something very satisfying actually about... It's like digging through their
Nothing to...
There's something really satisfying about digging through their luggage. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'd make for a good customs agent, because I seem to enjoy really digging up the other people's luggage. Leaving everything in disarray, and then saying in a very straight voice, there's nothing more worthwhile for me to find here. Ah, we got Dragonirov. And we have her bracelet.
The
and she's
bracelet
come in.
is worthless, mademoiselle. It is copper only. I bought it outside the train station in Istanbul.
Add a comforting room to my new house.
Take it if you like.
I'm very sorry, Your Highness. I realize how this must look.
Yeah, I need it for a
I'm
battery.
only doing the job assigned me. I promise I'll return it to you, if I can.
Ah, then I expect you would like to interrogate me. I believe that is the correct term.
Interrogation
If
is
I
more, I
may.
think, like
But of
when you
course,
take them
I
downtown.
am
but-
suspect, just as anyone in the Calais coach must be. I am ready for the third degree.
For the third degree?
I regret to tell you that I must take your fingerprints.
What does she even mean by that? She's ready
With
for the third
typewriting
degree.
Have you something I may clean my hands with afterwards?
I have some paper napkins.
Thank you, mademoiselle. Those should suit admirably.
What a surprise. It's exact same fingerprint. Only Greta is allowed. Oh, so Nick has eyes on Greta. I see what it is.
I have borrowed your passport, Your Highness.
I noticed that as well.
Natalia Dragomirov, 17 Avenue Kleber, Paris. You are traveling home from Istanbul, madame?
Yes. I have been staying at the Austrian embassy. My maid is with me, as you saw in the marketplace.
Schleswig accent gets me every time.
Forgive the personal nature of this question, madame.
I can guarantee you the princess was not in
colour
a
of your
sexy red
dressing
kimono
gown?
last night.
My dressing gown. It is of blue satin.
Could you give me a brief account of your movements last evening?
Nothing could be simpler. After dinner, Schmidt, my maid, read to me. We were interrupted by the train stopping to avoid the avalanche. Then she read aloud to me some more, till quite late.
Can you give me an idea of the time?
If I were to guess, I would say it was 1:30.
How long has your maid been
Has your
with you?
maid been with you long?
15 years.
Do you
Okay, that's
consider
fairly
her
long.
trustworthy?
Oh, after
Absolutely.
15 years?
Her people come from an estate of my late husband's in Germany.
You have been in America, I presume, madame?
Many times.
Were you acquainted?
Were
Were
you
you
acquainted with a family by the name of Armstrong?
You speak of friends of mine, mademoiselle.
Oh?
Sonia Armstrong was my goddaughter. I was on terms of friendship with her mother, Linda Arden, one of the greatest tragic actresses in the world. As Lady Macbeth, as Nora in A Doll's House, there was no one to touch her. I was not only an admirer of her art, I was a personal friend.
So you have
Linda
lots of
Arden dead?
motive. You're
No,
purely
she is
dripping
alive.
with it.
Tis a sort of life. She lives in complete retirement. Her health is very delicate. She must lie on a sofa most of the time.
She had a
Mrs.
sister,
Armstrong
did she
had a
not?
sister, did she not?
Yes, much younger than Mrs. Armstrong.
Lady Dracula
And
seems sus
she
to.
is
She
alive?
does.
Certainly.
Where is she?
I must ask the reason of these questions. What have they to do with the murder?
Do you
on this
know
train?
who Mr. Ratchet was?
The dead man was responsible for the kidnapping and death of Mrs. Armstrong's child.
Ah. In my view, then, this murder is an entirely admirable occurrence. You will pardon my slightly biased point of view.
It is most natural, madame.
Where is the youngest
Where is
daughter?
the younger daughter of Linda Arden, the sister of Mrs. Armstrong?
I hope you realize
I
you went to the
lost touch
top
with
of
the
the.
younger generation. I believe she married an Englishman some years ago, but
She's
at the
top of
moment
the
I
suspect
cannot
list at this
recollect
point.
the name. Mademoiselle, you will forgive me, but the one you assist, he who guides the investigation, no one has told me his name.
He
Spartannell.
is Hercule Poirot, madame.
Poirot.
Fine, it's Poirot.
I thought his face was
Or as the
somehow
Americans say
familiar
it,
to me. Poirot.
Monsieur Poirot.
It is destiny.
It's destiny to have Poirot on this train. She's top of the suspect list because also, remember the second person who did
I won't lie.
stabbings, they weren't able to stab as deep. They were quite weak.
Colonel Arbuthnot, I do not believe we've
I
been
think
properly
she was in
introduced.
on this.
I expect the formalities must be winked at in a case like this, mademoiselle. The attendant told me you
Mademoiselle.
are acting on the frog detective's
The
behalf.
frog detective's
I
behalf.
am the frog, monsieur. Hercule Poirot is Belgian.
Apologies, no offense meant. Your accent's a bit of mid-channel, difficult to pick up.
We should play Frog Detective. That's apparently
May I
really
have your
good.
passport, please?
Of course.
Colonel Francis Gordon Arbuthnot, the Mews, Cheltenham, Royal Northumberland Fusiliers, currently stationed in India.
Yes, on leave.
But you're not traveling on the P&O boat? Why not?
I stopped in Baghdad with the AOC, who happens to be a good friend of mine.
I will take your
I will
fingerprints
take your
now.
fingerprints now.
Will you, by Jove? Well, get on with it then.
You see, he seems quite enthusiastic about his fingerprints. Apparently, having a lady ask you for your fingerprints is quite a big deal. Where did you meet
Where did
Mademoiselle
you meet
Debenham?
Mademoiselle Debenham?
Miss Debenham, what in In Baghdad, if you must know.
And your opinion of her?
You can take it from me, she's all right. A puka sahib.
She's all right, you say?
Can you give me an account of your movements?
Neither of you want
night?
to talk about each other.
Yes, I think I can.
I smell
After
a
dinner, I
rat.
had a drink in the salon car.
Or a
with
bit of
the
an
young
affair,
queen, The
perhaps.
dead man's secretary. Surprisingly knowledgeable about world affairs.
She's
from America,
comforting.
even if he had got hold of some tomfool ideas.
Maybe
about
on the
India.
side, maybe
We
unofficially,
adjourned to his
she is
compartment.
comforting him.
Let me see, around 2100. That's 9 p.m. You saw us in the Belgrade station courtyard. We stepped out for a bit of fresh air, but with the weather turning foul, that wasn't on.
Well, what do you
and
smoke?
Monsieur
Are you a
McQueen
pipe
smoke?
smoker?
McQueen doesn't, now that I think of it. A pipe's
pipe?
my weapon of choice.
We have a pipe smoker.
What happened after Belgrade?
Around 2200, that's 10 p.m. Ratchet's valet came to fetch him for his employer. He went off for a while.
And what did you do after Monsieur
And
McQueen
what
left?
did you do after Monsieur McQueen left you?
Well, I went back to the salon car for a nightcap, didn't I? I was heading to
I don't
my
know, don't
apartment
ask
when
me.
I ran into McQueen. Went off back to his room again to continue the natter. I put him straight on India. Learned a bit about
Natter?
the American stock market. Bloody fool's game, if you ask me.
It really is.
Pardon my, that is to say, my language.
Do not concern yourself.
There, you see. Now I can hear the accent. It comes and goes.
I heard zero French in what she
time
just
did
said.
your discussion of world affairs end?
The conversation was so engrossing, by the time I looked at my watch, it was 1:45. McQueen called the attendant to make up his bed. I came back here.
Did anyone pass Monsieur McQueen's room while you were talking?
A good many people, I should think. I wasn't paying attention. The attendant did at one point, and I think I caught a glimpse of you wandering about.
Let us say during the last hour of your conversation.
Really, I can't.
Colonel, you have the soldier's observation for detail.
Hang on. There was a woman, I think.
Ah, the lady in the red kimono?
Was this woman young or old?
Didn't see her, wasn't looking that way. Just a rustle and a scent.
Mademoiselle
Rustle and
Debenham?
a scent.
No, I'd recognize. That is to say it wasn't. No, it was very strong.
You'd recognize it? Hmm?
Can you pinpoint the time the woman passed? What were you discussing?
Let's see, I was detailing the other washout. Stalin's 5-year plan was turning out. It must have been within the last half hour. More definite than that, I can't say.
Have you ever been to
in
America?
Never. Don't want to go.
Oh,
Did
Simple.
you ever
Me
know
neither.
a Colonel Armstrong?
Armstrong. I've known 2 or 3 Armstrongs. Selby Armstrong. He was killed on the Somme.
I mean the
That was the
Colonel
first war.
Armstrong who married an American woman and whose only child was kidnapped and murdered.
Ah, yes. I remember reading about that. Shocking affair. Never actually came across the fellow, but his name came up in the officer's mess, of course. Toby Armstrong. Nice fellow. Everybody liked him. Distinguished career, got the VC, Victoria Cross.
If you got the VC, that's a pretty big deal. Like, very few people.
The man who was killed last
Get the
night
VC.
was
They
the
don't
man
just hand that
responsible for
out.
the murder of Colonel Armstrong's child.
Then, in my opinion, the swine got what he deserved. Though I would have preferred to see him properly hanged, or electrocuted, or whatever it is they do over there. Trial by 12 good men and true. Sound system.
Anything you can recall from last night that strikes you
I think
as
this is at
suspicious?
least 2 years
There
before
was
voice
one
chat
odd thing.
became a thing.
Yes.
Well, actually,
As I
when
got
did
back
the
to my
when did the
compartment, I noticed that
telephone
the
really
door
take
to the
off,
one beyond
become
me,
popular?
number 16. Well, it wasn't quite closed. The chap inside peered out in a rather furtive sort of way, then quickly pulled the door.
Number
Probably nothing
16.
in it, but you know what it is. Early hours of the morning, everything very still. The thing had a sinister look, like a detective story.
There is a man
Colonel
who's dead
Arbuthnot.
now.
Not at all. Now, if you don't mind, I think I'll pop along to the salon car.
Naturally,
let
Miss
me
Debenham
keep
is
you.
there.
You mean to say you intend to stay in my compartment?
Yes.
and search through my belongings.
Already have.
I'm sorry, but I really must.
But that's, I mean, it just isn't. That's bloody irregular, pardon my French.
Don't worry, I don't need to stay. I've already gone through your belongings. If it makes you feel any better. It probably doesn't. Alright, it's just Hardman left. And he's not back yet. Hardman has completely disappeared. But we've now got his passport. Wrong on. Let's see. At this point, my list of suspects. I have everyone except the waiter and Pierre's passport. There's nothing else in there, huh? Oh, my French, get it, chat, get it?
I found this button from your tunic in the American lady's compartment.
I have lost no button, mademoiselle. There must be some mistake.
Then perhaps it was dropped by the man she said was in her room.
There was no one there. The lady must have imagined it.
I need to ask you some questions about Monsieur Ratchet's death.
But of course, Mademoiselle Marceau. I will do anything I can to help.
I can't ask you for fingerprints. When was the body discovered?
The valet of Monsieur Rachet, he tapped several times at the door this morning. There was no answer. Then, half an hour ago, Lucien, the waiter, came. He wanted to know if Monsieur was taking déjeuner. It was 11 o'clock, you comprehend.
Continue.
I opened the door for him with my pass key. But there is a chain, too, and that is fastened. There is no answer, and it is very still in there, and so cold. The window open, I borrow the engineer's hammer, and break the chain, and go in. Monsieur Rachet was... oh, it was terrible. The chain was
It must have been suicide?
It must have been suicide?
I'm sorry, Michelle. A person does not commit suicide by stabbing himself 12 times.
Yeah, that's a little uncommon.
I suppose not.
Okay, so it was bolted from the inside. Let's just get his fingerprints.
I would like to
It was
take your
bolted from the inside.
Of course, mademoiselle.
So the murderer... We know the murderer left, or at least one of the murderers left, through Hubbard's room, which would mean that they kept things closed, or they left by the window. Or they entered by the window. But that would be a bit difficult. I feel like the initial murderer was invited in. They then murdered Ratchet. Left through Hubbard's room. After opening the window, maybe? I don't know. I'll see how this comes together. Did anyone call for you last night after we spoke?
After we spoke?
Yes, I made up the bed of the young American gentleman, Mr. Rachet's secretary.
At what time?
It must have been about a half hour later.
1:45.
About that, yes. The English colonel from number 50
so
was with him.
The colonel's story checks
The colonel
out.
went back to his own compartment as I prepared the American gentleman's bed.
You see no one moving about?
Last night after we spoke?
The English colonel returned to his compartment. No one after that.
Did you leave the car?
At any time last night after Belgrade?
Well, I did go back to talk to Matteo, the attendant in the Athens-Paris
Don't have anyone that prepares my
When
bed.
was
Ask
that?
Greta. I'm sure she'd be down
Not
for
long
it.
after 1.
How long were you gone?
A few minutes only. One of my bells rang. You remember, it was the American lady. She had rung several times.
How does one prepare anything? I think these are the days like you turn down the bed. And I guess they might have... I guess they might have heated it with like a heating pan or something. I don't know. I've never had my bed prepared for me either. For me to go to bed. All right, we get Lucian's passport. And we just need Mateo's passport now. I believe. Yeah, I know, I beat Snack on that one.
Nothing to find.
Okay. I think it's just at this point. We have a couple of people who are missing from the list. I'll beat Spartan with a stick. Yay! Why are you so violent to your streamer? What have I ever done to deserve it? Alright, we're missing Hardman, but Hardman has completely disappeared. Dr. Constantine, Klaus won't come out until... You can get Mateo now. The engineer and the fireman. I have no idea where to even really find them. Does not speak French or English. Okay, that's probably why we can't speak with him. Engineer. Many teeth missing. Great. Like that. Nah, this mustache is too... relies too much on meat. Okay. It's growing on me, TBH. It does kind of work though. It kind of looks good. You can't deny. Actually, kind of. Oh yeah, we already got his passport. That's fine. Can't see his mouth. Yeah, I don't know how. If I open my mouth completely, I don't think you can actually see it. The engineer, Michelle. Hardman, what are you doing in here?
I'll take that key, Mr. Hardman. If you don't give it to me, I can have a couple of the train's staff take it from you.
I'd like to see them try.
Would you really?
What are you doing stealing things, Hardman?
Pierre Michel's passport and an old photograph. I'll just borrow both of them.
You have no right being in this room, Hardman. What are you trying to steal? Don't you know it's rude to take things without asking?
Michel's belongings.
Your job.
You know I'm assisting Monsieur Poirot.
Sure. Begin the interrogation.
What were you doing outside Ratchet's window?
Ratchet's window?
Okay, there were footprints there. Man's shoe, but not a large one. Size 7, maybe. I followed the tracks, then it looked like whoever made them put on some snowshoes.
Yeah, don't take things that don't belong to you. What sort of precedent would that set? Need your fingerprints, please.
I guess it's okay.
Everyone has the same fucking fingerprint pattern. Nobody has fingerprints that start in the center. What's your profession?
Your profession?
I'm a salesman. Typewriting ribbons.
Do you always travel first class, Monsieur Hartman?
Sure. The firm pays my traveling expenses.
What's your destination? American.
And from there?
New York.
Paris. Through to New York. So from there you're probably... Breasts?
What can you tell me about the murder?
Oh, sure.
Nothing at all.
That is a pity. Perhaps, Monsieur
I'm not sure what cruise liners ran from New York through
as I
to
believe
France.
it's called, in your suitcase?
How do you know what it's called?
Crime is a hobby of mine.
Yeah? Well, why don't you try knitting instead? You people are serious about this investigation, aren't you?
Of course. You have
There's a
heard
dead
of Monsieur
person
Poirot.
on board. We kind of
Yeah.
have to take it
Yeah,
seriously.
I think I better come clean, or I could find myself in a lot of hot water here.
I would advise you to come clean.
Okay, I don't know anything, like I said. But I ought to know something. That's what makes me sore. I ought to. My passport's a bit of a bluff. That's who I really am.
Please explain.
I showed up at the appointed time. Ratchet put me wise to the situation.
The threatening
Are you a
letters.
private? Oh, is he a private
Yeah, he
investigator?
showed me 2 of them.
Did Monsieur Ratchet seem alarmed by the letters?
Pretended not to be, but he was rattled all right.
And what instructions,
What instructions did he give you?
I was to travel by the same train he did to Paris and see that nobody got him. That's the thing. I did travel by the same train, and in spite of me, somebody did get him. I feel sore about that. Doesn't look any too good for me.
Yeah, it's not going to be a glowing point on your resume, I'll be honest.
Did he have any idea who the letters were from?
Well, Ratchet described him to me.
What?
Sure. Said he was a small man, dark, with a kind of womanish voice.
Did Monsieur Ratchet not tell you the man's name?
That will be whoever was in the
Ratchet
attendance
was Cassetti,
uniform.
the Armstrong murderer.
No kidding. Should have recognized him. I mean,
These guys
I suppose
couldn't
I
be
saw
more
photos of him in
stereotypical as
the
an
paper
American
and
if he
everything.
tried.
Well, that explains it. Cassetti made a lot of enemies in the American underworld. He often skipped when the heat was on, leaving his partners in crime to face the music. Some assassin finally caught up with him. Say, I've really fallen down on this thing. And with a famous detective like Mr. Poirot on the case, too. This won't do my rep any good with my boss, Mr. McNeil, if it gets back to him.
I'm in the same predicament, Monsieur Hartman. Believe me.
I like that these people aren't actually
Well, that's
trying
good.
to, you know, solve the murder
bad for you,
for the sake of
Say, listen,
catching someone who
if we
committed
could
a
keep
crime.
the mess I've made out of this thing between ourselves.
They're trying to
must
save their
tell Monsieur
careers.
Poirot everything.
Oh, sure,
Everyone's
sure.
just trying
I'll
to
have
keep
to
their
swallow my
careers from
professional
going out the
pride there,
window.
but if we can keep it on this side of the Atlantic, maybe, I'd really appreciate it.
I'll see what I can do. Do you know anyone connected with the Armstrong case who matches the description Monsieur Ratchet gave you?
That's hard to say. They're mostly dead, aren't they?
Yes. Mrs. Armstrong, Colonel Armstrong, the nursemaid who threw herself out a window.
Yeah, that was quite a hectic
remember
story,
now.
I'm not gonna lie.
The nursemaid was suspected. She killed herself even though she was eventually cleared.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. Snow is very bright.
You're not facing
that
the
nursemaid
snow.
was a foreigner, I think. Maybe she had some foreign relations or something. But that wasn't the first time Cassetti had run that kidnapping stunt. I bet there are lots of people had it in for him.
I think you were related to that nurse.
Please
You'd
tell
have
me
no
your
reason
movements
to
after dinner
tear
last
up or
night.
squint
I played
otherwise.
some cards with that Italian guy at the front on the coach. Then when people started turning in, I went back to my room. Stayed up all night. Had my door a bit ajar so I could keep watch. But nobody could see me. You get it?
I understand how it is done, yes.
Could you see the attendant?
Could you see the attendant from that position?
Sure. He sits on that little seat right past my room.
Can you describe his movements?
And the other attendant?
Let's see. He answered a couple of bells after the snow stopped us. Went back into the rear coach for 10 minutes or so. Then there was a bell ringing like mad, and he came running back. I got a bit nervous over that, but it was just that talkative American dame raising hell about something or other. A bit later, he headed off to make somebody's bed up. Then he settled in.
Did you see anyone up and down the
moving
passage?
Up and down the passage.
Nope.
Passage. Nope. Okay, that's
Is there
easy.
anyone on the train who can confirm your identity?
So you're a useless
My credentials
detective.
are taped to the bottom of the table in my compartment, along with my real passport. I'm sure you can find
Oh. Okay.
Do you
We'll go
smoke,
get it now.
Monsieur Hartman?
it. Sure. I've got some cigarettes in my room. Come on by this evening after things quiet down. I can be far more entertaining than that mouse of a woman in your room.
No, thank you. Thank you, Monsieur
No,
Hartman.
we don't need any comforting, thanks. Why are the men like this? Like, every man in this game is just relentless in flirting and being a creep. Right, under his table. Aha! This is a lot of things. Cyrus Hardman.
I'll put this into my...
Okay, I see ads are going, so I'm just gonna like stop for like a few seconds here. So that these can run. We're just gonna walk back to Athens, Paris. And we'll read what we took from his room now. Shortly. Let's see. We have everyone's passport now. We're just missing a few of the fingerprints. The guys on the outside, though, I don't think their fingerprints are particularly necessary. That's sort of... I don't think the engineer up front or the train driver up front snuck in and murdered Ratchet, you know? Is Constantine back here, or is he still missing? He's back, okay. Also, ads are stopped. Let's just quickly check what was it that we collected from his room. Find Klaus the vinegar and olive oil he needs, or I shall never gain access to the kitchen. Collect all reference prints from the suspects, okay. Documents. Not that. The challenge. What? Where's... Hardman? Apparently, Anessa is here, but I don't think so. Apparently, I can't see the other things that I took from his room, which is curious. Licensed detective from New York, currently employed by the McNeil Agency. Okay.
I would like to take your
I think you're like the last person in fingerprints.
Everyone must be...
Refuse? No, of course not. Let's get it
You
over.
wouldn't refuse a lady asking for your fingerprints, would you? Okay, there's no point asking you about anything, because you wouldn't have been over on that side. Vacant. Mateo. But Mateo we already have everything for, I think. Let's just check. Yeah, suspects. Yeah, we have his passport, we just don't have his fingerprints, so... Mateo. You boarded in Belgrade?
Si, señorita.
Why were you so late? Your passenger must have boarded by
The
himself.
passenger. Why does she always refer to it as passenger and the
train.
passage?
But this is not so. I was preparing my car as it was being attached. I myself welcomed the Greek doctor and showed him to compartment 13.
I'd like to fingerprint you, please.
I, señorita?
Everyone.
Oh, then si. I will submit.
I swear all of these fingerprints are the same. I can't see a freaking difference between them.
Did anyone pass between this car and the Calais coach
Once we're
last
done
night?
talking with him, we're going to
Only
wrap up for
Pierre.
tonight.
He came through and we talked for a few minutes about the snow and what it will do to the schedule.
When was this?
Sometime after 1 a.m. A few minutes only. We talked for 10 minutes or so. Then Michel fancied he heard a bell. He opened the doors between the two coaches and we both heard it plainly. A bell, ringing repeatedly. Michel ran to answer it.
He has quite a feminine voice, yeah, but he doesn't look particularly short and dark-skinned, which is the other
Which
description
rooms
of
are
the
occupied in this car?
other guy.
The Greek doctor is the only passenger. He is in room 13. I have taken room 15 there to sleep in, and room 16 for my equipment. I hope it is all right. Pierre Michel is using room 11. The chef de cuisine is in 9. Lucien, the waiter, is in 1-2. The engineer is resting in 10 when not attending to the boiler. The fireman rests in 3-4.
What equipment?
I am a ham radio operator.
It was
Usually
a
I
ham
carry the
radio. I
equipment
knew
in
it.
a baggage car. There is no time to use it when I'm on duty. And anyway, no power. But when we were stopped so suddenly, I thought to check it and found my telegraph key destroyed. I don't understand it. It was packed carefully. I brought the rest here to my room to keep it safe.
Okay, well, we'll need the telegraph key to
Do
use
you have
the
a plan
radio.
to the Athens-Paris coach?
Si, señorita.
That will be enough.
Okay. We've made a lot of progress today, not gonna lie. We've done a lot of progress today. So let's transition over here. We definitely made a dent. That we did. I'm actually kind of happy because I feel like I've gotten further than what I ever did as a kid. I can't say that for certain, but I feel relatively confident that I've made it further than what I ever did on my own as a child. As like a Also, we've already established as a child I did not understand all of the innuendo that was going on in this game. Clearly, I really did not get it. I really missed the point. But I suppose it's good at that age if you are innocent about those sort of things. You really should be. Excuse me. Knowing that is very comforting. Yeah, I'm never gonna quite look at the word comfort in the same way again. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like the word comfort has just been ruined for me. I think it's just been absolutely destroyed. You know what? I like that though. That was a good laugh. I found that highly amusing. I found that to be a highly amusing thing of after the train stopped, I went into my wife to comfort her. Oh my word. There's no ways that they didn't know what they were doing when they wrote that line. They must have known. They must have known. No one is that no one is that innocent. The writers knew exactly what they were doing when they wrote that line, and I suspect, I'd like to think that the voice actor knew what was going on, and he just somehow managed to keep the straightest face possible when talking about, he went into his wife to comfort her. Anyway, that was interesting. But yeah, we are going to call it here for tonight. I'm going to find someone to send us over to. I don't know who to send you guys to. You know what? I feel like this is just old faithful. It's just the person I default to. Guys, thank you for watching. We're going to be back tomorrow. I think tomorrow we're just going to do some art though. I'll see how I feel. I found it fun playing these sort of games and just doing something a little bit different. I hope you guys have been enjoying it. I hope you guys have been finding it interesting or fascinating or at least engaging to come and watch these, because I enjoy doing it. But yeah, thanks guys for watching. Yeah, thanks for coming to the stream. Yeah, it's almost 10 p.m. for me, so I guess it's good night. Good night to you all. Good night, Nick. Good night, Snacks. Good night, good night, Sloan. Good night, Clicks, if you're still here. Good night, Lynn, if you're still here. And I hope all of you have a great evening, and I'll see you all tomorrow at 6 p.m. again. I know I was late today by 30 minutes, but still, I'll see you guys at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Have a good night.